Welcome to Longview High School, home of the Lobos. Chuck, Zach, and Tony Kirk along with you. And welcome to the pregame of the final game of the regular season. And we are looking forward to a football game in about 40-ish minutes. But before that, and we're not going to talk for very long because it is obviously the last game of the regular season, which means it's the day we get to honor the seniors, and it's a day when the family of the seniors get to take the field before we ever get started for football.
And we do realize that we're here 24 hours early. The expectations were this was going to take place tomorrow night on the final Friday of Friday Night Lights, but unfortunately the weather has scared us into thinking this is a better idea. Similar to a week ago when the Lobos traveled to Tyler for their senior night. Tyler had moved from Friday to Thursday. Lobos thought that worked out pretty well. Let's just do that again. And so they were able to get West Mesquite to agree, and so this game's being played on a Thursday night instead of a Friday night.
Can we get them to change the name of the book and the movie? Just go to Thursday Night Lights.
You know what? Who knows what the future is if Amazon gets a hold of it.
Either way, we have the folks from West Mesquite rolling in here for the final game. Lobos are number one in the state. They haven't lost. West Mesquite, they're running in with a 3-6 record, and they've been struggling. And I'm going to shut up because we're about to start introducing some players down here on the field. So you are watching Senior Night here on Longview Game Day.
Welcome to Senior Night at LOBO Stadium. First up, number 4, Tadarian Boone. Tadarian is accompanied by Tia Boone and Kim Boone. Number 7, Frederick Hawkins. Frederick is accompanied by Fred and Andrea Hawkins. Number 8, Jalen Hale. Jalen is accompanied by Courtney and Shanita Hale. Number 12, Jordan Allen. Jordan is accompanied by Marlon and Tammy Allen. Number 16, Drake Mayfield. Drake is accompanied by Takeitra Mallard and Tyson Mayfield. Number 18, Jakevion Curry. Jakevion is escorted by Philip Burns Jr. and Shirley Moore. Number 19, Jose Aguilar. Jose is accompanied by Maria Toribio and Jose Aguilar Sr. Number 29, Jonathan Kawich. Jonathan is escorted by Angela and Ramel Kawich. Number 32, Caden Brooks. Caden is escorted by Tracy and Erica Brooks. Number 33, Brandavian Steverson. Brandavian is escorted by Brandon Steverson and Doriana Steverson. Number 36, Aiden James. Aiden is escorted by Jessica James and Bill Easton. Number 40, Jose Soto. Jose is escorted by Jose Soto and Nora Jaramillo. Number 44, Angel Ramos. Angel is escorted by Angel Ramos and Rocio Ramos. Number 45, Jeremiah Rugeley. Jeremiah is escorted by Teresa and Earl Graham. Number 46, Kylan Sublett. Kylan is escorted by Kim Hatton and Cameron Sublett. Number 48, LaQuavian Jackson. LaQuavian is escorted by Quintel Jackson and Christian Mathis. Number 50, Jax Norman. Jax is escorted by Jerry and Jessica Norman. Number 62, Martin Guerrero. Martin is escorted by Martin and Patricia Guerrero. Number 65, Jordan Wright. Jordan is escorted by Nicole Wright and Jared Wright. Number 67, Blair Williams. Blair is escorted by Sylvia Williams and Jerry Williams. Number 69, Luis Correa. Luis is escorted by Monica Correa and Victor Leisha. Number 72, Mongo Williams. Mongo is escorted by Ashley Long. Number 78, Ethan Pulte. Ethan is escorted by Thomas Snoddy and Misha Montgomery. Number 88, Adrian Davis. Adrian is escorted by Adrian Davis and Mikesha Morgan. Number 90, Nicholas Onofre. Nicholas is escorted by Linda Onofre and Alejandro Onofre. Number 96, Omarion Watkins. Omarion is escorted by Treva Walker and Yasmin Walker. Number 98, Michael Fields. Michael is escorted by Megan and Jane Fields. Student assistants, Karen Juarez. Karen is escorted by Marisol and Miguel Juarez. Student assistant, Jade Peters. Jade is escorted by Michelle and Adrian Rose. Student assistant, Alicia Pierce. Alicia is escorted by Trey Pierce and Tracy Tennyson. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your 2022 Longview Lobos seniors. Let's give them a big round of applause. Next up, your 2022 Viewette Seniors. Alicia Allen. Alicia is escorted by Cassandra Allen. Skylar Baez. Skylar is escorted by Cookie and April Baez. Kaylee Brown. Kaylee is escorted by Chuck Brown. Aaliyah Cade. Aaliyah is escorted by Kiera Borders. Anisha Combs. Anisha is escorted by Samantha Combs. Diana Dominguez. Diana is escorted by Juan Dominguez. Hannah McCrory. Hannah is escorted by Eric and Catherine McCrory. Allie Moore. Allie is escorted by Robert and Shannon Moore. Caden Newhouse. Caden is escorted by Ardell and Kimberly Newhouse. Haley Pittman. Haley is escorted by Walter and Anna Pittman. Jayla Robertson. Jayla is escorted by Diedrich Robertson. Soleil Rudolph. Soleil is escorted by Sarah and Cyan Rudolph. Maya Mark Vargas. Maya is escorted by Mr. and Mrs. Vargas. Elle Woods. Elle is escorted by Dr. Quentin and Julie Woods. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the 2022 Vuettes. And now your 2022 senior cheerleaders, Abigail Hilton. Abigail is escorted by Dr. Martin and Heather Hilton. Rachel DeYoung. Rachel is escorted by Hans DeYoung and Dr. Ruth Caesar. Andrea and Abigail Smith. They're escorted by Zatwan Latham and Demetria Hamilton. Gracie Ponder. Gracie is escorted by Tammy and Ella Ponder. Margaret Langston. Margaret is escorted by Keith and Kate Langston. Jaira McCarty. Jaira is escorted by Justin and Tawana McCarty. Madeline Maddox. Madeline is escorted by Nathan and Carrie Salmon. Kanaya Ingram. Kanaya is escorted by LaCadrian Ingram and Rodney Gilliam. Taya Venters. Taya is escorted by David and Dr. Angela Venters. Madison Walker. Madison is escorted by Kenneth Singleton and Tiffany Walker. Let's give a Lobo shout for your 2022 Longview High School cheerleaders.
Well, there you go. Senior night here at Lobos Stadium. An awesome group of 12th graders we are going to miss incredibly. Some going off to college, some going off to other things, some going off to continuing to play some football. And we're fortunate to get to watch them at least, well, 2 more times here in Longview at least. We're going to get a season finale for the regular season tonight, and we're going to get a home playoff game, and we're going to assume it's next Friday. We know for a fact it is. Our man Frank said we know for a fact we'll be playing next Friday night. We don't know the opponent yet, probably Crosby, and probably an earlier kickoff than we're used to in district games, which is typically 7:30, although tonight it's 7. Next Friday it will be 7 o'clock as well. So we get 2 more chances to watch them here at home, and going to enjoy the heck out of them for these 2. And hopefully tonight we send the seniors off for their final regular season game with a win, which would be the culmination of a wire-to-wire regular season #1 ranking for Longview.
And not only that, a perfect 10-0 record, and I'm sure you've done the math on this. Do you know how many times they've been 10-0 in district? Because we remind everybody, for years Longview played in what many people considered the toughest district back in the day when they played in the district with Lufkin and the 2 Tyler schools and Texas High at a time and Marshall at a time and Nacogdoches. And so district championships, 10-0 seasons were not the given back then. And so I know John King's had a lot of success here, and these have been the golden years of Longview football. But you still ought to take time to appreciate a 10-0 regular season record.
Well, and if you're a Lobo fan, this is the 5th time if they can finish this tonight during John King's era, which is what year 19 we're on, 5 out of the 19. So 1 every 4 years, you're getting a 10-0 record here. If you're not spoiled by that, then you've enjoyed a heck of a lot of great football.
Well, and that's the deal. If you've only known Longview during the John King years, you probably don't appreciate how great the success has been in the last 20 years for Longview football. And like I say, I promise you 10-0 records were not the norm. Everybody knows how long they went between the state championship in the 30s to a couple of years ago. But this is a golden age of Longview football, and this is going to be one of those golden seasons, at least when it comes to the regular season part of it.
All right, well, tonight it's the West Mesquite Wranglers coming in. They're 3-6 on the season. They have faced Longview twice, both in the last 2 years, and both times similar scores, 49-24 back in 2020, 56-28 last year. We got a chance to see that last year game, and honestly, the Lobos didn't play badly, just made a lot of mistakes, had a bunch of turnovers in that game, and had to have a 28-point fourth quarter to get that 56-28 margin that was actually the district opener last season. It's the district closure this year, but they got all their money's worth against the Wranglers a year ago.
Yes, and we should expect something similar tonight. If you're John King tonight, you probably have a couple of goals tonight. A, get your starters out there, be sharp, don't make a bunch of mistakes, try not to get anybody injured. And then the other thing is you want to get some of these seniors who may not be starters a lot of playing time tonight. You want to let their senior night be special, and so we expect to see starters for a while. We expect to see some of those seniors get some additional playing time tonight.
Yeah, the Lobos really have nothing to play for except for potentially that 10-0 record. All right, so before we do anything else, each week during the pregame, we share with you the Longview Orthopedic Star Foundation Student Athletes of the Week. They're on the screen for you right now, and they are from Tatum High School. Our young lady is Kerrigan Biggs, volleyball and track player, and from Hallsville High School, Cortavion McMillan, a football player and power lifter, sponsored by the Velvet Pearl. They are our Week 10 Longview Orthopedic Star Foundation Student Athletes of the Week. And as we have each week throughout the year, we recognize some kids who are great in the classroom and great in their athletic endeavor, and we tip the hat to those two this evening.
About 11:24 on the scoreboard clock till kickoff. We got a little breeze tonight. We've had a couple of ball games of late that it's just still. We actually have a little breeze tonight that may affect how much teams air it out this evening. We'll just have to wait and see. But we're 24 hours ahead of what we think is going to be some pretty good weather tomorrow night. And remind everybody that's why we're on Thursday night. Yeah,
they had a little bit of a threat of rain tomorrow. It's as high as about 80% chance tomorrow, and it could be some severe stuff again. So rather than having parents and grandparents out here on a day where it's going to be rainy, you get them out tonight. 77 degrees here in Longview, partly cloudy skies. It's a picture-perfect fall evening. Why not do it tonight instead? And for a lot of coaches, if you're in an area where there's potentially rain and you can move this game up a day, you get a chance maybe to scout in person your first-round opponent tomorrow night.
or it's opening week of deer season, and you might be able to get in the blind early on Saturday morning.
Or there's that. So you have options just depending on your priorities. Anyway, the Lobos come in after a 42-3 whipping of Tyler last week, and it really was a whipping. It was run football almost all night long last week. We got a snoot full of Taylor Tatum, or at least the Lions did. 18 carries, a season high, 193 yards. He goes over the 1,000-yard mark with that performance last week, and it puts him in an interesting spot. He's added his name into now the Longview Legends of 1,000-yard rusher. He's currently sitting at number 34. If he has a night anything like he did last week, let's say he goes for a similar number, another 190-ish yards, he'll jump from 34 to number 17 on the all-time single-season Lobo rushing record. We'll keep an eye as he's ticking people off throughout the course of the evening, not just Wranglers, but ticking off old Lobos who are going to be named tonight as he may pass them, because there are obviously 17 of them, if he has the kind of night he had last week, that we'll get to recognize as he moves his way up the ladder.
Well, when we remind you, Taylor Tatum took one night off this year. That's 9-game total. A couple other ball games he was lightly used.
Well, it's actually an 8-game total.
Yeah.
Because we're on game 10
we're in
now.
game 9 actually.
Yeah.
So those statistics are magnified from the fact that he took a full night off and was used sparingly in a couple other ball games. If he gets 175 yards or whatever night, he's had 2 big runs in the first half, because I can't imagine they're going to be using Tatum a lot in the second half tonight.
No, I would think not. I agree. So we got that one to keep an eye on. He's got 20 touchdowns coming into this game on the ground, and he's working his way up that list as well. Currently, he is 7 touchdowns behind Vondrell McGee. Back in 2004, he set the school record with 27 rushing touchdowns, and he's working his way along with Jalen Hale up the all-time career touchdown list. So there's lots still to be done for the junior running back as his season keeps getting better and better. He's had 3 really outstanding games this year now of high 100-yard rushing. Hadn't broken 200 yet. It's not to say he wouldn't do it tonight with a couple of long runs.
Yeah, I remind you that McGee is of Texas Longhorn lore. He went on to play football for the Longhorns.
Yeah, they got a pretty good list between 20 and 27. All right, here come the Lobos as they come running out this evening. John King looking for what would be win 206 if they can get this win. Puts him in some rarefied air. How about Buster Gilbreth? Spent 28 years at Cuero, among other schools, where he ended up with a 44-game winning streak for Cuero back in the 70s. Jerry Jones, not that Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones, who coached at Saline and Pilot Point. And Jim Slaughter, 28 years at Lakeview, Corpus Christi, Carroll, Lufkin, A&M Consolidated. That's the next group for John King at 206 wins, if he can knock one of those into the win column tonight here against the Wranglers.
Coach Slaughter ended his career in the Carrollton School District. Ended up being an AD there later in his career.
All right, for the guys from West Mesquite, let's just, for a minute anyway, talk about them, because they come in this with a 3-6 record. They lost last week to Lufkin 31-22, sticking pretty well with the Panthers. They lost to Lancaster the week before 68-7. They lost to Tyler 21-0. They've lost to McKinney North 34-14, and they lost to North Mesquite 30-24. That's and let's add one more. Forney, they lost 43-14. District record, they're 0-6. They won all 3 of their non-district games before we got to the district schedule. But once they got here in the district, they have struggled mightily against the opponents here in District 7.
Key to that, scheduling. You want to schedule those non-district games to your advantage. You don't really have a choice when it comes to those district opponents. The UIL says, here's who you got the next 2 years, and I'm sure when West Mesquite saw who they had for the next 2 years, they went about the business of trying to find somebody they could compete with in non-district.
Yeah. The playoffs for tonight, here's what we got. Longview's obviously in, and they have clinched the top spot. Nothing going there. Lancaster, sitting at 7-2 on the year, 5-1 in district, has clinched the number 2 spot. Forney, 6-3, and they're 4-2 in district play, has clinched the number 3 spot. So it basically comes down to this. McKinney North's going to get the chance to clinch this playoff spot. If it's not them, it's going to be Lufkin. So it's one of those two. McKinney North with a win tonight over North Mesquite would get the thing. Otherwise, Lufkin's going to have to win and get some help from North Mesquite to beat McKinney North.
Color guard is coming onto the field as we prepare for the national anthem. They're there in the end zone, as you can see on your game day stream, and they'll be marching towards the midfield here momentarily as we prepare for the national anthem.
We are about, what do we have, 6-7 minutes, about 5 minutes till kickoff. So we're going to be quiet. We'll let the color guard and the national anthem do their thing, and we'll come back for opening the coin toss, the opening kick, and the starting lineups here in just a couple of minutes.
And now our national anthem. Members of the Longview High School JROTC Color Guard are Cadet First Lieutenant Rebecca Resendez, Cadet Command Sergeant Major Josue Santa Cruz, Cadet First Lieutenant Hector Santa Cruz, Cadet Corporal Alan Carrillo, and Cadet Second Lieutenant Alexa Ruiz. And marching behind the colors tonight is the Lobos.
All right, we're about to get the captains out to the middle of the field. Of course, we're going to be keeping an eye on a couple of things that we can tonight. And that's certainly the other games in district. Tonight it's McKinney North against North Mesquite. Tyler is at Forney. Lancaster is at Lufkin. So those 3 games are going on. And I'm not sure, and I'm going to have to take an eyeball look at what district's number 8 is doing as far as tonight versus tomorrow. But certainly we're keeping an eye on who the Lobos' opponent's going to be in the first round. And by all indications, it looks like we're probably going to see Crosby next Friday night here at Lobo. But there's still some stuff that potentially could happen where it may not be Crosby. It could be somebody else. Potentially Mount Bellevue, Barbers Hill, or New Caney Porter, all of whom are still in the mix for that number 4 spot out of District 5, 8-5A.
And we were talking to a gentleman getting off the elevator today about Crosby. This is their first year up in Big School 5A. The last couple of years they've made an imprint on the playoffs in 5A Division II. 2 years ago they ended up in the state finals where they lost, but they've had some success in playoffs, but they're moving up in weight class this season.
All right, we're about to get the captains out here. Frank Sandoval's the coach of the Wranglers. This is his 3rd season in West Mesquite before he got this job, which he has struggled with. His 3 wins are the most he's had in his 3 years at West Mesquite. He spent 3 at Mejia, where he finished off with a 15-18 record in 3 years there. So he's 21-41 in his 6 years coaching, 6-23 in 3 seasons here at West Mesquite, and he's the head guy.
Yeah, it's a tough gig over in Mesquite. You got a bunch of schools. To be honest, none of them have great tradition. Mesquite High back in the 70s went to a state championship game. Poteet had a nice run for a while, the Pirates, but all in all, Mesquite hasn't been a great area for high school football, and so it's a tough gig, but you know, they got the biggest stadium in the state. We were there a couple of weeks ago, and there's support there, but not always the athletes to go along with it.
Lobos captains getting ready to line up. They are to Darian Boone. He's number 4, of course. Jalen Hale's number 8. Number 12 is the quarterback, Jordan Allen. And the 4th starting captain, if you will, is number 50. That is Jax Norman, one of the offensive linemen. Those are the 4 that are going to be sent out by John King tonight on senior night. And on the other side, the Wranglers are going to start. They got a whole bunch of guys together, so we'll have to wait until they flesh out just a little bit. But they're going to send out, it looks like 4 as well. 9 is Matthew Amaya. He's one of their linebackers. 10 is Javion Jackson, one of their wide receivers. 32 is Vincent Hayes. He's a linebacker and fullback. And last guy, I believe, is 53. That's Artavion Brown. He's a multi-year starter on the offensive line for the Wranglers.
Yeah, they sent out one additional, number 1 there, Galloway, but he has to stay with the officials. Only 4 are allowed out there.
He's backup.
He's backup.
Yeah, in case somebody pulls a hamstring on the way out there.
That's right.
They've got a man ready. Speaking of injuries, by the way, our thoughts with Drake Mayfield, who was here this afternoon or this evening. He had surgery after the injury last week on the Thursday game. Got hit in kind of an awkward way on a kickoff and ended up having to leave the game. Obviously, he's had surgery this week, and we're glad to see him back with the family here, even though he can't play. He's here anyway to support the rest of the team.
Yeah, good to see old number 16 back in the stadium this evening, even though he won't be able to play or participate anymore this year. He was in a very ugly injury the senior a week ago.
All right, Lobos win the toss. They, however, have chosen to kick. So let's give you the defense for Longview before we get going. Defensive line, we'll see number 99, Billy Smith, a 6-foot, 215-pound junior. Omarion Watkins in the middle, the 249-pound senior. Jordan Wright, the 180-pound senior at the other defensive end. You'll see a lot of Zarius Shepard as well as LaQuavion Jackson. The linebackers are number 45, Jeremiah Rougeley, the senior, going 225 pounds. 170-pounder Chase Smith on the other outside spot. He's number 3. 4 is Tadarian Boone, the 165-pound senior, who's having an unbelievable year. And Caden Brooks, the 190-pound senior. In the secondary, all juniors. Jaden Simmons is number 9. He's at one corner. J.K. Curry's at the other. He's number 18. Safeties are Willie Nelson, number 6, and Buda Garrett, number 10. That's the starting defense for the Lobos. For the Wranglers, our offensive line from left to right, Samuel Aguilar, Artavion Brown, Izel Enriquez, Alberto Gonzalez, and Andre Brewer. The receivers are Javion Jackson and Kason McCoy. Vincent Hayes is kind of a tight end H-back hybrid. Elijah Walker, another of the wide receivers. Kanan Durden is their tailback, and their quarterback is senior Craig Dale. He'll be wearing number 2 today. All right, Lobos ready. Michael Fields heading out.
It's like Casey McCoy and Zacchaeus Castle back for the Wranglers. They're both on about the 10-yard line.
All right, we're about ready to go. Welcome to Longview Game Day, and we are underway. Game number 10. Michael Fields will send this over the head of everybody, and it'll bounce into the end zone and come out to the 25-yard line. And that's where the Wranglers will begin this afternoon. Hey, we remind you, if you're watching us on Facebook, share it. Let people know the game's on a day early. Make sure they get a chance to catch all the action. We'd appreciate you, and hopefully they'd appreciate being with us tonight.
Yeah, well, if you know anybody that's a typical follower of the Lobos, you might give them a heads up. They might not have got the message. We're playing on a Thursday again.
Get the message. We're here. We got a game. Kylan Sublet's coming into the game in place of Caden Brooks before the first play. And I think we're going to recognize that they're spreading out wide receivers everywhere, and Lobos are making the adjustment. By the way, different guy in the backfield. That's number 2 as a starting running. Well, actually, Craig Dale, who's setting up. Now, different back is number 4. That is Bryson Walker. He's their second running back, and he catches a short little swing pass up to about the 28-yard line for a gain of 2, almost 3 yards.
Yeah, good job by Walker. He got initial contact behind the line of scrimmage, was able to turn it into a positive gain. They got about 3 yards on that.
All right, second down and about 8 coming up. And the quarterback keeping this one, and probably should not have, is Jeremiah Rougeley continues his outstanding play. That's a loss back to about the 24-yard line. You're not going to get a sack on that because that was an obvious quarterback running play, but it's a loss of 3 and a tackle for loss for Rougeley.
I don't know if Walker wears makeup, but that time he wore a heavy dose of Rougeley.
Oh, nice. That's very good. Loss back to the 24 brings up third down and 11. Wranglers already finding themselves behind the chains, and that means the Lobo pass rushers will pin back those ears. Back to pass Dale. Here comes a blitz. They got him, and he's not getting away. Chase Smith is going to get credit for that. Billy Smith, rather, is getting credit for that. That'll be a loss back to the 16-yard line, and you just knew as soon as it got to be third and long, here would come the Lobos. So they get a little 3-yard gain, a 3-yard loss, and a sack for a loss of 8, and it brings up fourth down.
Yeah, 2 blitzers that time, 6 total came across the line of scrimmage on obvious passing down, and it was more than the Wrangler offensive line was prepared for. And so big sack there, and now we expect Willie Nelson to, I think that's Willie on about the 50-yard line, waiting the first punt of the game.
Sack number 5 for Billy Smith. Gaden Durden's in trouble with the ball. He managed to keep a knee from getting down, and that punt is not going to be very good. Low snap and a punt that takes the ball only to the 35-yard line. That's a 19-yard punt. And on a day when Ray Guy passed away, the great punter for the Oakland Raiders, we get a 19-yard punt.
It's no way to honor the great Ray Guy.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Hopefully somewhere somebody's going to do better than that tonight. But either way, a bad snap doomed that thing from the start. And so great field position, 35 yards away from the goal line to start for the Lobos tonight.
Here comes Jordan Allen at quarterback. We'll set the offense for you in a second. Out of the backfield, Taylor Tatum on first down. Allen looking, wheel route to Tatum. He's got the ball in his hands and can't make the catches. Closing on him in a hurry was number 1. That is Galloway. That is Dylan Galloway. And I think maybe Taylor looked up just for a second to see if he's going to be able to make a move away from the defender and drop the ball.
Yeah, he kind of had his hands held funny, which leads you to believe that he was getting prepared for impact there and just didn't get a handle on it. It looked good from the start, but then a good job by Galloway to get over there.
Second down and 10. Under center goes Jordan Allen. Handoff up the middle, and that's what Taylor Tatum does as he plows forward across the 30 to about the 28-yard line for a gain of 7.
Yeah, you can ask the folks at Tyler last week. That's what he does, and he does it well, and that's what they saw a lot of a week ago. Probably the most conservative game plan we saw all year was last week, and in the weeks leading up to that, we saw them doing a little bit of tweaking of the offense. And now you go from tweaking to not wanting to show your playoff opponents a lot.
No, you're not going to show hardly anything tonight. DK Reese going to split out to the near side. Hales on the far side. Man in motion again is Tatum. They're moving him all over the place. Hand off to Elijah Johnson. First down and more as he bursts across the 25 to the 21. Here's the offensive line. Jax Norman's at left tackle. Mongo Williams left guard. Tavion Morgan is the center. Jacoby Watts the right guard. And Martin Guerrero is the right tackle. As Frank dubbed them this week, they are the protectors of the pack. Angel Ramos is the tight end. DK Reese and Hale are the receivers. Elijah Johnson is the fullback. Taylor Tatum, of course, is the tailback, and senior Jordan Allen running the show at the 21-yard line.
So does that make them a cup?
Does it make who a cup?
That offensive line.
They're more than a cup.
They're the protectors of the pack.
They're a gallon. It's bigger than a cup. First down handoff. Taylor Tatum falls forward to the 17-yard line where he picks up 4 more.
Tatum again, the ball carrier.
No surprise, a heavy dose of run here early. The interesting thing tonight, Elijah Johnson was a little nicked up last week, hobbled earlier, still had a decent ball game a week ago, but never really seemed full speed. We'll see how Elijah works tonight. They come out in the shotgun. The beauty of this offense this season has been they can run at you in the eye, they can run at you in the spread, or they can put the ball in the air. When you have so many offensive weapons, it's just kind of what do you want to choose that particular drive.
Second down coming up, and about 6.
Tatum to the slot.
And we'll fake the handoff, dump one out instead. That is caught here on the near side, catching that for the Lobos, number 81. That is Jamerson Derensberg with his first catch of the night, and it'll move the chains across the 15-yard line. They'll mark him down right around the 10.
Yeah, I misidentified. It wasn't Tatum in the slot. They had actually lined up Hale in the backfield to start the play, ran him out to the slot. He was designed to block on that play. He got fortunate for a moment. The receiver almost fell on his leg. I think everybody on the Longview sideline gasped a little bit there for a moment.
First down and goal, ball sitting right on the 10-yard line. Allen back to pass, looking right. Will throw over the top and through the hands of Hale, who got his hands up a little bit late. He was screened by the defender over there and couldn't make the grab, and it'll bring up second down and goal.
Yeah, the before-mentioned Hale that time drew a lot of coverage. He had 2 with him right away. The safety eventually worked his way over there. By the time the ball got there, there were 3 in the picture. Still, for a moment there, Allen had a shot at him. It just kind of flew on him and probably could have used a little bit more air under it. Hale's going to circle back around and leave the playing field.
Well, they took a long time getting the football, and so they'll bring Freddie Hawkins in for him with a second down and goal. Handoff Taylor Tatum, and spins out of one tackle, trying to lower his shoulder and get stood up at about the 4-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain. It'll make a third and goal.
If you wonder why they went away from the run on first down, well, they'd like to have Hale as a viable option down around goal line come playoff time. And they've worked off and on that corner pattern. This time the Wranglers had seen it, and they had defenders back there, but Hale's such a special receiver that even when he's covered, you can still have a little window of opportunity to get that over the top.
6.5 minutes left to play here in the quarter. This has been the opening drive. Lobos marching down the field. They've got third down and goal now at the 4. Quick toss backward to Hale. He'll catch that and just jog into the end zone. It's actually a run, not a pass, as he threw it backward for a couple of yards. And so we don't get to add any yardage total to Jalen Hale's receiving total, but we get a touchdown for Hale nonetheless, and it's 6-0 Lobos.
Well designed. They had the other 2 receivers basically as a lead blocker set up, and with the ball behind the line, as you described, they can go ahead and start making contact with the defenders, and so that was a pretty easy pitch and catch and jog into the end zone.
Andrew Tutt for the hold. Michael Fields continues his string of making point afters. That one good. I believe it's number 51 in a row. And it's 7-0. 6:25 left to play in the first quarter. We'll take a break. We'll come right back to Longview Game Day.
Injuries aren't planned, and here at Longview Orthopedic, we're going to work together with patients to try to attain the best outcome possible for them. We have the ability to treat all injuries for all patients and athletes of all ages. One thing I want patients to understand is that, I've been in their situation. I played football at Texas A&M University, played offensive line, I was a guard, and being an athlete, suffering injuries, and having that passion to get back on the field gave me a really good perspective on the other side of the line as a treating physician now here at the Longview Orthopedic Clinic.
Well, a short punt, a short field, a short drive. 8 plays, 35 yards. Took 3 minutes and 27 seconds. Ends with a Jalen Hale 4-yard touchdown run. And the Lobos have a 7-0 lead. And they're getting ready to kick off. Michael Fields ready. His kick again is going to be deep. Tell you what, the Wranglers are not backing up any more than about the 8-yard line. Anything over their head, they're content to let it go on into the end zone and bring it out to the 25-yard line, which they will for a second time.
Well, it's been well documented this year how good the coverage team is for the Lobos kicking unit. I think they've done enough scouting to say, all right, if he leaves it a little short, go ahead and field it. take off with it. Otherwise, you let that thing go in the end zone, and we'll take the 25.
All right, so first drive, Taylor Tatum had 3 carries, 17 yards. That gets him to 1,101. He has passed Torrey White, Jasmine Moon, and Aaron Johnson on the all-time leading rushing list for the Lobos. A little tricky stuff here for the Wranglers, and it kind of blows up and goes nowhere as Casey McCoy, the carrier on that reverse, that blows up and goes for a loss backward. And you can see the Lobos not at all fooled. Buda Garrett there first. Second one to close up on it is Jaden Simmons, and it's going to bring up 2nd down and 15. Quarterback Dale back to pass, in some trouble, not going to get away from Billy Smith. Another sack for Billy tonight. We saw him have what was a disputed 3 or 4 sack night a few weeks ago. He's got 2 here in the first quarter.
Who's disputing it? I say quit disputing it. Give him a half a sack. But either way, once again, you get behind the chains against the Lobos. It's tough sledding. The Wranglers are what they've been seeing on film all week. Now they're seeing up close and in personal. It's tough.
Loss of 5, 3rd and 20. Going the wrong direction here are the Wranglers. They're trying to figure out something. They're going to split a couple receivers. They're stacking them on the far side of the field. Really one cover guy over there. Longview not fooled. Dale in trouble. He's running around, gets away from Rugeley, looks to the sideline. Ball's going to be caught, but it's well short of the first down. On the reception that time for West Mesquite, number 14 is Noah Casares, and it's going to bring up 4th down at about 10.
Athletic play, but as you described, there's just too much to gain on 3rd and long, and so even though the kid made a special play to buy himself some time and dropped a dime while on the run, it was just too much to gain, and so they'll go into punt formation again and see if they can execute the snap this time.
Yeah, Kanan Durden is the punter. He's back on his 13-yard line. First punt was 19 yards. 2 quick 3-and-outs now for the Wranglers, and this one looks like off the side of the foot, and it's going to go out of bounds. And again, the ball's going to be shy of the 50-yard line. The officials walking up to mark it, and let's see where they're going to put it.
I don't know, but we're too close to duck season to send one up like that. I'm surprised somebody didn't fire on that rascal.
46-yard line.
Yeah, this is outstanding field position again for the Lobos. Wranglers just making it too easy here at the beginning.
Well, they punted better. That was 21 yards. The first one was 19. So you get a little bit better stuff. But again, the Lobos will start with a short field. And with 4:17 to play in this first quarter, already on top 7-0.
Yeah, they're going to come out in I formation here. Johnson is the up back. I'm assuming that's Taylor back there. It doesn't really look like him.
And we got a little play action. Man coverage. Allen going deep. Ball's up in the air and knocked away. 2nd down and 10. A little underthrown that time. Hale had to wait on it and try to come back and get it, and that ball gets knocked away by the corner on that side. That is Dylan Galloway, and it's going to be 2nd down and 10.
Well, a couple things going on here with Hale. You've talked about he needs some yards for a record. I'm sure coaches are aware of that. At the same time, you want Jordan Allen to continue to work and be sharp come playoff time next week.
2nd down and 10. Speaking of Hale, he needs just 50-odd yards to become the all-time leading wide receiver yardage record holder for Longview. Handoff to Elijah Johnson. He goes up the middle for what's almost 9 yards up to the 37-yard line.
And if you're John King and his staff, you want to give Hale every opportunity to achieve that record. He's had an outstanding career here. But at the same time, in the back of your mind, you're wanting to limit his play tonight in number of snaps.
Hale actually needs 58 yards to catch Camden Perry. Handoff again, Elijah Johnson. Boy, breaks a tackle, 30-yard line. They are going to watch him go to the end zone. Last dive at the 20, couldn't get there, and Elijah's going to go in from 37 yards away for the touchdown, and it's a 13-0 lead with 3:23 left to play in the quarter.
Yeah, and to be honest, the dance in the end zone had a higher degree of difficulty in the last 15 or 20 yards of that. He just ran away from everybody, so great to see Elijah get some himself. He usually does a lot of the dirty work in that backfield. He's blocking, he's the short yardage guy. He's that up back in the eye, so good to see him get a little something.
He had a great week last week. 10 carries, 93 yards last week. Michael Fields for the point after with 3:22 to play in the quarter. We'll take a timeout. 14-0 Lobos here on Longview Game Day.
And now at Orr, we want to buy your used vehicle and we'll give you guaranteed top dollar for yours. And if you prefer to trade, even better, with massive savings on every new vehicle at Orr Cadillac GMC in Longview.
In Longview, see your good neighbor State Farm agent Charlene Ingram for your insurance and financial needs.
McCoy Castle deep to receive the kick from Michael Fields.
All right, welcome back. Michael Fields to kick off for a third time in this quarter, and for a third time this ball is going to come out to the 25-yard line. 3 plays, 46 yards, 43 seconds for that second Lobo drive that led to the 14-0 lead.
It couldn't be much better scripted these first 2 drives. Short fields, mostly running game. If you're Longview, you'd like to get a big lead at the half, and that'd be plenty. I just think tonight you want to let a couple of guys do some things statistically, but you also want to get these starters off the field as quick as possible.
All right, well, we'll start another drive, 25-yard line. It's been 2 3-and-outs for the West Mesquite Wranglers so far. Chris Dale still in there at Craig Dale rather, still in there at quarterback. They actually have a second guy, Demetrius Ballard, a sophomore, is playing some. Boy, high snap. He does a good job grabbing it, and then he gets grabbed in the backfield. This will be a loss. Amarian Watkins' first one there, loss of a yard, 2nd and 11.
Early going to hear the West Mesquite offensive line just being overwhelmed right now by that front 4 of the Lobos.
Watkins, 48 tackles, 11 tackles for loss. Pretty big numbers for your defensive nose tackle. Back to pass, Dale, swing pass far side. That's caught by Casey McCoy, and he's going to be back around to the 25-yard line, basically where they started things, and so it brings up 3rd down and 10.
I want to correct myself. That front 3 of the Lobos, they're in a 3-4 right now. They go back and forth at times depending on the opponent.
And a hurry up here come the Wranglers. Lobos showing blitz. Boone comes all the way up into the gap, getting ready to come. And he backs out. 3rd down. Chase Smith chasing, and they'll force a pass incomplete, out of bounds. 4th down, and a late flag came in at the end of that. Really late. We'll see what the White Hat says about this one back at the 10-yard line.
That's usually roughing the passer back there. I didn't even see him go down. I had turned my eyes upfield, and yeah, it's going to be
intentional grounding.
Oh,
yeah, ball didn't get back to the line of scrimmage.
As I said, I didn't see him go down, so that makes more sense that they didn't get it past the line of scrimmage.
All right, so they'll spot this all the way back to the 10-yard line.
Smith just flushed him early, and he got to run into his left side and really never had a chance to get much on that ball, so no surprise it did not make it to the line of scrimmage.
So Durden, who's going to have to punt again, will be punting out of his own end zone this time. Willie Nelson at the 45-yard line. No rush, line drive punt, hits at the 30, takes a Wrangler roll to Willie at the 45. 35, 30, 25, 20, and the Lobos are going to start inside the 15-yard line for their 3rd possession of the quarter.
Willie picked up a slow roller and just took off with it. That one just didn't get a lot on it once again, but it did finally get his way back to Willie Nelson. He's been chomping at the bit to touch the football, and so he was not going to pass on the opportunity to scoop that thing up, and looks like they're bringing that thing back. Got a flag on about the 28.
Yeah. Holding call on the Lobos. It would have been the 13-yard line. They're going to move this thing back to the 38. First penalty of the game for Longview.
Well, Hale needs some yards.
No, he does. Yeah, he needs 58, so we're not deep enough yet for that.
You get a big chunk of it here.
Back on offense they come. DK Reese split near side. 2 receivers far side this time for Longview. Quick toss. That one is to Hale. He's going to go to the 22-yard line before he's wrestled down there. Gain of 16.
Yeah, now he was far enough behind him. That's a forward pass. I don't want you statisticians cheating my man out of 16 yards.
Oh, no. Was I wrong on the first one on the touchdown?
You're right. I just want to make sure.
16 for Hale. He's 42 yards away.
Tatum comes to the sideline. Hale will be on the slot on the near side. We'll be surprised they did a little crossing pattern to get him to the outside.
A little high snap handoff coming this way. Elijah Johnson avoids one tackler, still going, finds a little lane and goes all the way down rather the end zone. They're going to say crossed the line as the ball popped out, him hitting the ground after the fact, and so it's a touchdown for Elijah Johnson, his second of the ball game. This one from 21 yards away, and the Lobos lead it 20-0.
Now Derensburg had a really nice block downfield. 81 got down there and got after it. So did Reese. The 2 receivers were responsible for Johnson getting the thing all the way to the goal line.
Michael Fields going to be one busy young man tonight, it looks like. 3 kickoffs already. His 3rd point after try coming. And the Lobos make it a 21-0 lead. 1:41 left to play in the quarter. We're going to take a break. We'll come right back. You're listening to us and watching on Longview Game Day.
At Godarzi and Young, we take things more seriously.
Every case that's handled at our office is handled by a team. That work and dedication has caused our office to recover more record verdicts and settlements than any other law firm in Northeast Texas.
It is our obligation to make sure our client has the financial backings and the manpower to be successful.
We are exactly who we say we are. We're trial lawyers who've gotten results year in, year out.
House party? We got you covered. Office meeting? Come on, treat them right. Game day? You know we're here for it. Get your taco, nacho, or fajita bar today. Only at Juicy's Taco.
From Texas Bank and Trust.
Well, the drives keep getting shorter. The first one was 8 plays. The second one was 3 plays. That one, 2 plays, 38 yards. And the Lobos take a 21-0 lead. Elijah Johnson with 2 touchdowns in this first quarter. And how about another kick into the end zone? Michael Fields getting a little bit more distance with each kick.
It's like a man with a new driver. He's just getting it straightened out.
Really?
Yeah.
How much do you pay for a new driver these days?
Just depends on who you know, how good a deal you get.
All right. Ball will come out to the 25. The drives so far for the Wranglers: 3 plays minus 9 yards, 3 plays 0 yards, 3 plays minus 15 yards. That's 9 plays and a minus 24 yards worth of offense. They're doing this against the number 1 team in the state. They're doing this against a team that has given up no fourth quarter touchdowns defensively. And they're going to add a penalty to it on top of it to take them back to the 13-yard line.
Yeah, you can't block below the waist on change of possession, and so that's what happened there.
So spot the ball at the 13. It'll be 1st down and 10 there.
This time they're going to go with 4 linemen.
First down and 10. They're going to try to run the football, and that goes nowhere. That middle of that Lobo line is not going to bend. Billy Smith, who's having a big day, teaming with Omarion Watkins, and it's 2nd down and 10.
They've got some size on this Wrangler line, but they're just not getting much of a push right now. And they can't figure that out. It's going to continue to be a long night.
Yeah, it's maybe a long night, or maybe a long quarter. How about that?
It's already a long quarter.
Minute 9. Dale back to pass, got a man open at the 20. That's McCoy. Makes a good move, a second good move, and dives forward. How about a 1st down for the Wranglers at the 24-yard line?
McCoy did a great job that time of working himself away from the guy that was covering him and picking up a 1st down. That's the biggest play of the night for the Wranglers thus far.
It's something to build on, I guess. Out to the 24-yard line, gain of 11. And they at least get to keep the Lobo offense off the field for a little bit. 44 seconds left to play in this first quarter, 21-0. All Lobos so far.
We're on about the 30, 35-yard line, and the whole quarter's been played right in front of us this evening.
Yeah. Ball has not crossed the 50. McCoy comes in motion. Play clock down to 5. Back to the ground they go. That's Walker up to about the 28-yard line for a gain of 4, second down and 6.
Bryson Walker with
I think they'll run, it's Watkins. Marion Watkins comes running on. He's going to be joined by Ethan Pote is also going to get some time on that line. Pote's kind of their designated run stopper. That's going to end the quarter.
Yeah, they run on, then they're going to run back off again. They got to switch sides of the field. All Lobos through the first quarter, 119 yards to 6. That's the first quarter, 21-0. We'll take a break. We're coming right back on game day.
Don't fumble when you're looking for your next trailer. At RJ Trailers, we got the hookup. Cargo Mate, Hallmark, Text Line, Diamond C. We've got the inventory selection to get you into the end zone. Step into savings with RJ Trailers. Don't pass up on the best deals around. RJ Trailers in Longview and online at rjtrailers.com. We've got the hookup.
Printing your photos just got easier. Just pick your size, color, and favorite photo, and we'll do the rest. Because your unforgettable moments are meant to be framed.
All right, welcome back. We head to quarter number 2, 21-0. Longview with the lead, and yeah, Wranglers have their work cut out for them.
You're short on words to describe that, eh?
Well, they got a lot going here, and this one's going nowhere. There is Shepard there, and there's a little bit of an injury, it looks like. Bryce Walker gets up. Looked like he was a little banged up, but gets basically a yard loss on the play, and it's going to bring up third down and about 7.
Well, the good news is for Bryce, basketball season starts tomorrow.
And before we get going, we got a flag down and about 5 more yards backward on the false start.
That's something we need to address here after a 21-0 first quarter. I don't remember any pre-snap penalties for the Lobos during that. It was pretty clean execution for the 3 scores.
No, you're right. Other than the holding penalty on the punt return.
Yeah.
They were pretty clean that first quarter worth of action.
And I'm sure that's something John Green.
Well, we had that conversation about John Green driving down. You mean John King, though?
Yeah, we met John King, John Green, sports writer in Texarkana, but John King has sure harped on that of late. So I'm sure that's something Coach King is proud to see, a clean quarter like that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Ethan Pulte was bearing down quickly on Craig Dale, who throws another one into the sideline. He keeps doing that. The assistant coach over there is going to have more receptions than any other Wrangler, it looks like. It's going to bring up a 4th down. First they had the false start penalty, then the throw incomplete. And so it becomes 4th down and 12.
Yeah, after finally picking up their first down of the game, they're going to end up punting it again, and looks like it'll be excellent field position again for the Lobos.
Willie's actually standing on the Longview side of the 50. Durden's punt. This one a line drive, gets enough of it that Willie's got to go backwards. Still hadn't found the ball. Now he's got it and comes right up the middle. 45, 50, and he'll get the ball across midfield yet again down to the 46-yard line.
Tell you what, Willie makes it exciting. He was a little lackadaisical. I don't know if he misread the punt, if he got the lights in his eyes or something, but he didn't quite have the depth on it correct, and it went over his head and off his fingertips. But it was so far down the field, he had plenty of time to pick it up, very relaxed. Willie's been returning punts for years, and he's one of those guys at times maybe gets a little too relaxed back there.
Well, Lobos again will start on the Wrangler side of the 50-yard line. First down and 10, 21-0 lead. Hale in motion. Back to pass, Allen. Looking short behind Hale, and it's incomplete. Closing quickly on the coverage that time for West Mesquite. Number 6 is Nathan Reyes, and it'll be second down and 10.
Well, considering how they had Hale covered that time, it may have been the best thing he could do was just not catch that ball, because he was about to get blown up by a couple of different Wrangler defenders. I do sense they're trying to get Hale some touches here in this ball game to give him an opportunity to get that yardage to become the all-time leading receiver.
He only got 2 catches last week against Tyler. We only threw the ball 6 times last week. So trying to do a little bit of that, you can understand. Second down and 10, Tatum back in the deep I spot, gets the handoff, and to the 40, the 35, and we'll go out of bounds at about the 30-yard line, maybe the 29. That's a pickup of 17 and another first down.
Every so often, Taylor Tatum makes a run that he just looks like he's on a different speed and skill set than everybody else on the field. That was one of those plays. He took it inside, just so effortlessly popped it to the outside, hit that little extra gear that he's one of those rare backs that they have that extra gear, and he was down the field before you know it.
All right, he passes with that run. Chris Butcher and Lavendrick Fight. Moving up the list, he's now sitting at number 29 on the Lobo single season rushing number. First down, back to the ground to Elijah, right up the middle. He's looking for the end zone again as he comes short at about the 11-yard line. Already 2 touchdowns for Elijah Johnson. He runs for 19 more.
Yeah, and at times Elijah just refuses to go down, and so they kind of have to put several defenders on him to ride him to the ground. That was one of those cases, and Elijah, so strong, really likes to finish his runs.
They're going to put him down at the 11, so add 19 yards for Elijah Johnson, and you may not know it, but he's sneaking up on 100 yards. Elijah with 93 here in the first half on 5 carries.
Be surprised if they don't look to Hale in the corner again here. They're just trying to work on Jordan Allen's timing some tonight. Got Hale inside. He can simply take this out.
Tatum's a deep back. Will fake it to him. Back to pass. A little bit of pressure. Allen rolling left. And this is just going to be a run as he's pushed out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Gain of a yard. It's second down and 9.
Jordan hadn't had to run a lot this year. He's got some athleticism. When he gets flushed, he can get on up the field. That time, I think, week 10, meaningless ball game, he was looking for some sideline and just got pushed right before he got to the safety of the stripe over there.
8:24 left to play in the first half. Lobos had a 21-point first quarter.
We got an official shaking up over there. They're taking a timeout, going to check on him. Trainer from West Mesquite sideline is going to come out and check on him. I don't know if he got knocked down over there in that. Getting a replay here. We'll see if, he got involved in that. And
well, he didn't get pushed down, but he looked like he may have gotten tangled up with the chain crew over there.
I think he probably turned an ankle or something. Hopefully that's all it is. But if you're wondering, probably do not have an extra official tonight. They'll probably just change their formation if they lose an official for a period of time. Looks like he's going to step off. What's going to happen is the back judge you'll see now is running over there. They have contingency plans for this in high school officiating. So we don't work with a true back judge now. Instead, we'll have head linesman, line judge, and the 2 side judges working downfield without a back judge.
You still got your shirt, don't you? You got your ref shirt's gone?
I got a little too chunky for that.
All right. Second down and 9. Up the middle. Elijah Johnson again as he spins to the goal line. 3 scores for Elijah in this first half. He's over the 100-yard mark, and the Lobos blow their way to a 27-0 lead.
Tell you what, Elijah's having a great start to this ball game and deserves every bit of it. I mentioned earlier, does a lot of dirty work. He's a blocking back. He's usually the key back when they're in the spread formation. They really like Tatum in the I formation. Elijah's had an outstanding year, does a lot of things. He'll catch passes out of the backfield. just an outstanding player.
Michael Fields on for the point after try. Let's make it 28-0. Comes with 8:15 left to play in the first half. We'll take a timeout here on Longview Game Day.
Injuries aren't planned, and here at Longview Orthopedic, we're going to work together with patients to try to attain the best outcome possible for them. We have the ability to treat all injuries for all patients and athletes of all ages. One thing I want patients to understand is that, I've been in their situation. I played football at Texas A&M University, played offensive line, I was a guard, and being an athlete, suffering injuries, and having that passion to get back on the field gave me a really good perspective on the other side of the line as a treating physician now here at the Longview Orthopedic Clinic.
All right, welcome back. Elijah Johnson with his third touchdown of the evening so far. A short little drive again, 5 plays, 46 yards, 4 possessions, all less than 50, all resulting in touchdowns. And the junior Elijah Johnson is having himself a whale of a first half.
Indeed he is. Fields is doing all the kicking tonight. I bring that up because we got to visit with the other kicker's mom last week, and I'm going to take a shot at number 97, John Monseveus. I tried, Mom. Either way, John handled some of the kicking duty last week, but tonight it's been Michael Fields so far.
Here's the 5th kickoff of the evening so far. This one fair catch called for, and the ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Wranglers want no part of trying to return a kick.
No, and that's probably a good idea. There's no reason to. That time, I don't know if the special teams coach was not satisfied with them starting at the 25 every time. He said, we'll just pooch it to the 20, make them call a fair catch or make them try to return it. So not as good a field position this time for the Wranglers.
Well, they're coming to the 25.
Yeah, that's right. I forget, fair catch gets you the 25.
Well, and I think maybe if I'm the Lobos, I want to work on that too.
Yeah.
I can reach the end zone. I get that. Yeah. Well, on a night, what if I got some wind blowing in my face? Can I do some directional things? So you're getting a chance to break out the experimental kit here and see what you've got. So first down, 25-yard line, familiar ground for the Wranglers. And on first down, Dale, backward pass to the 20-yard line. That little tunnel screen. Ball came out at the end, but out of bounds, it looked like. And it'll be basically back to the line of scrimmage, and we've got 2nd and 10 coming up.
Checking back in is going to be Shepard. They continue to rotate in and out on that defensive line. I think that's been one of the keys to their success this year. Not only do they have outstanding defensive linemen, they've got a lot of depth at the position. Sometimes they'll go 3 down, sometimes they'll go 4 down. Sometimes it's 3 down with a stand-up defensive end / linebacker, and that's what they're going to have on the field this time with Rougelet. Probably will not put a hand on the ground.
2nd down and 10. Craig Dale looking for anything positive. Quick little drop, in trouble. Well, he got away from Shepard. Now he's got all kinds of pressure, and he's going to throw this one away again. It will get across the line of scrimmage, and it should bring up 3rd down and 10.
Similar to the play earlier where he was called for grounding. That time I think that was in the back of his mind as he put enough on it to make sure it cleared the line of scrimmage.
4 for 8 start for Craig Dale. It feels like he's thrown a lot more into the stands than he has on the field, but he's 4 for 8, but for only 25 yards.
I was going to say, he's hit mostly short ones so far. He's had a couple little swing passes he's completed.
Chase Smith's hobbled, or if he's got an equipment issue, but he looked like he was maybe holding that left leg just a little bit. He's going to split out here.
Maybe he's rubbing on that hip or something.
Yeah, coverage on the slot on what's going to be 3rd down and 10. Dale back to pass, looking right, got a receiver, gets the completion, and he goes for the 1st down. Is playing that for a potential maybe pick 6 was Jaden Simmons.
Yeah, Simmons thought the ball was going to go over the receiver's head, so he did not lower his shoulder to make contact. Instead, he timed his leap in expectation of the ball going over the receiver's head. Receiver just climbed the ladder and got it, and by then he was by Jaden.
So it's 1st down, 36-yard line. 2nd 1st down for the Wranglers. It comes with 6:58 left to play in the first half. They're at the 36-yard line. They're about getting as far down the field as they've gotten so far. Pressure coming, ball loose. Scooped up by an offensive lineman who's not going to go anywhere as that whole thing ends ugly. The center, Izel Enriquez, scoops up the fumble and at least holds on to possession for the Wranglers, but it's going to be a big loss back to the 30-yard line where it's going to be 2nd down and 16.
Well, and the worst thing is Enriquez lost his shoe. He's not used to getting a carry, and I guess that really doesn't count as a carry. He carried it to the ground.
And I did not pick up on the sack on the replay. Who got that? So I apologize for that one, but it's a loss back to the 30-yard line.
6:10 left here in the half.
2nd down, 16. Dale back to pass. That one tipped at the line. And let's see, we got 2 defenders that are right in that neighborhood. Rugeley's one of them. Shepard may have been the other. Both of them got their paw up, and somebody got a piece of that ball coming through, and now it becomes 3rd down and 16.
That's exactly where you do not want to be against the Lobos. We've seen this week in and week out.
This has been a dominating first half so far. They've been able to do just about anything they've wanted to do, and the Wranglers have little or nothing to say about it. 3rd down and 16. Dale calling for the ball, looking to his left, tosses out this way. That's caught by McCoy, who takes a kind of a misstep and has to go out of bounds just shy of the 1st down at the 45-yard line. Brings up 4th down and a yard.
Yeah, the slot receiver drew Willie Nelson, the safety that time. Willie, who played corner last year, is typically very adept at that, but he bit a little on the inside move, and when he turned out, he was wide open.
Well, you got nothing to lose here if you're the Wranglers, and so here they go. 4th down and a yard, and they get the 1st down as a quarterback. Dale will get it to the 49-yard line. It's 1st down there.
Dale's got some thickness to him. He's got a big set of shoulder pads he plays with, so he was able to muscle his way to the 1st down, and so finally they're threatening to cross midfield here.
Well, with the exception of a Willie Nelson punt return that went back to the 35-yard line, the ball has not been on this side of the field yet. So here we'll go. It's 1st down and 10, 49-yard line. McCoy's the man in motion. 5 minutes to play in the first half. Back to the ground, and there it is across the 50. It comes with 5 minutes left in the half.
5 minutes left in the half, down 28-0. Wranglers finally crossed midfield there at the Rocket L, and so a outstanding quarter and a half of football here from the Longview defense.
3-yard gain, 2nd down and 7. Kanan Durden, who's also the punter, gets the 1st down carry here. He's number 2 on the team in rushing yardage at 258 yards. Bryson Walker with 646 is the leading guy, and they kind of split time in the backfield. McCoy's the man in motion now, back in the slot. Dale back to pass, pressure coming, steps up, gets to the 47-yard line where he's kind of slung down rodeo style, making that tackle Caden Brooks. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Good one-on-one tackle that time by Brooks. He wrapped him up and held him to a 1-yard gain.
They get about a yard gain on that. And the Wranglers now face 3rd down and 5. Just under 4 minutes left to play here in the half.
To be honest, for a Thursday night, the Wranglers traveled pretty well this evening.
Did.
Expect to see that many folks across the way. Not what you expect for a Friday night game, but last minute, let's move it to Thursday decision.
Of course, if you're joining us, you say last minute, they're expecting rain tomorrow. Dale going to keep this, and boy, he's got a whole host of Lobos there. Tadarian Boone was the guy that forced him down to the ground. That's a loss back to the 48-yard line, and now you got 4th down and 6.
Yeah, but you expect them to go for it. You mentioned they don't have a lot to lose. Well, no, they're going with 3:25 left. I guess they don't want to give the Lobos a short field, so they're going to trot the punting unit out. This is the place in the field. If you're the receiving team on this punt, you might want to think about playing some pretty straight up defense here.
You don't want to give the Lobos a short field. That's all they've given them all night, it's a short field. Durden ready to punt. Boy, got a piece of that one. Bangs that thing. Willie goes back to the 8-yard line to return it. Now he puts on the Jets. 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. This could be a long return. Willie trying to maneuver his way down the field. He's got to outrace Durden for the end zone. He gets a 92-yard punt return with 2:35 to play in the quarter, and the Lobos don't get a short field. They don't get any field.
No, it didn't really matter if they'd have gone for it on 4th or not, because Willie Nelson does what he does. And that time, Mr. Excitement, he really is, I think, even with stars like Hale and Tatum on this team, I think Willie's the most exciting player on this team, and he'll lower the boom on you from that safety position. We talked about earlier, he can cover receivers one-on-one, and he's Mr. Excitement back there in the punt return game.
Well, Michael Fields for the point after try. Let's make it a 35-0 lead with 2:33 left to play here in the first half. You like some of that?
Who doesn't? Willie Nelson's one of those guys, if he was somewhere else, would probably be your starting running back, might even be your starting quarterback. He is so shifty and so athletic, and as you saw there, he's got the ability, if you go back to that punt return at the very beginning, he just accelerated. He drew everybody to the middle of the field, the coverage team, and then just shot the Jets to it to get the initial yardage. And then it was just a matter of working his way through some traffic and running away against a big punter. That is not Ray Guy back there punting.
And really set it up. He set up the punt coverage team just by doing that, acting a little bit slow, kind of taking his time, drawing them in, and then exploded on them at about the 20-yard line.
Like I say, Willie makes it a little exciting sometimes. He'll catch some in traffic, and you'll think, why did he do that? Sometimes he'll let one get over his head like that and make an over-the-shoulder catch. But he's just so confident back there, and he's kind of the definition of swag.
35-0, a dominant first half. Michael Fields to kick off. One more time here in the half. And remember, the Lobos won the toss and deferred. They'll get the ball to start the second half as well with 2:33 left in this one. Ball goes into the end zone, back out to the 25-yard line.
So once again, West Mesquite will start on the 25 as they have all night long, and try to get a little something going. Best drive of the game last time. They were able to cross midfield finally, pick up a couple of first downs, but it's just their offensive line is really just being whipped tonight. Not a great night for their O-line. This defensive line of Longview, as we've said all year, is not particularly big, but they're so quick and they rotate people in on you all night long. It just makes it tough.
Yep, the Lobos defense now is certainly in pin your ears back mode. 35-0. There's really nothing for the defensive line to do now but go after the quarterback. You can almost be a little undisciplined. Pass to McCoy. That one short. Rugeley coming out, trying to get to him, and he will upend the receiver near the sideline. That was Chase Smith that got over there. Somebody got over and upended him. We'll see on the replay. So McCoy makes a catch backward in the backfield, and then it's actually Simmons who comes running in and grabs him at that ankle as he tried to hurdle him.
Yeah, that was not a wise decision. You see guys hurdle some on the weekend. You hurdle like that on a Thursday night, you might not make it to the weekend. But either way, in honor of basketball, they started the whole thing with a bounce pass.
Yeah, I thought it looked short, too.
Yeah, he bounced it behind, but it was behind the line of scrimmage.
That's right. It was a run, not a pass.
Yeah.
So you can get away with that. 2nd down and 10. Ball just got back right to the 25-yard line. Dale going to fake the pass. Now he's going to keep this himself. It falls forward just before Tadarian Boone got to him, and it brings up 3rd down and forever.
Dale on the carry.
Right now, if you're a Wrangler fan, you're rooting for the clock because we've got a dead ball here. And we're going to get a timeout.
Yeah, let's see how we're going to do that. Well, Lobo's going to take the timeout.
Yeah, John King does this all the time. If he's got timeouts and a couple minutes on the clock, late in the half, he'll try to get a little more.
And you may be looking at this saying, oh, I guess Frank wants to take a time. We'll take a timeout, then we'll come right back. We'll talk about it on the other side here on Longview Game Day.
In life, some things just go together, like a burger and fries. And home and auto insurance from State Farm. Combine and save.
Talk to State Farm agent Charlene Ingram today.
Crunch has everything you need to find your mode. Come check out Crunch Fitness with a free guest pass.
2:17 left to play here in the half. Chuck, Zach, Tony Kirk along with you here on Longview Game Day. Now, we started to talk about the timeout and up 35-0. Well, isn't that kind of bad sportsmanship? No, you're situational now. If you're John King, you are playing situational football because everything after tonight is an elimination game. And I'm going to want to work my 2-minute offense if I can do that before this half ends, just to hone that a little bit more. Dale back to pass. Running away from Billy Smith. Toss middle of the field. Intercepted. It's picked off. Ball stripped.
Yeah, it comes back out.
Simmons had it up the field. He started to go and then dropped the football.
And then fumbled and recovered by the Wranglers.
So the Wranglers managed to actually get 4 downs now. As Simmons got the interception, got about 2 yards, and McCoy popped it out from behind, and then McCoy recovered it. Well, that's weird. So an interception for Simmons, that's his first of the year, and then he turns it right back over again. So it's first down Wranglers at the 26-yard line. They gained a yard on that.
Yeah, kind of a goofy way to pick up a first down. You throw an interception, and they return it, fumble it. And I suspect those last couple of timeouts, John King may leave them in his pocket now.
Yeah, probably now you're saying, you know what? I think we tried that. That didn't work. Handoff. Oh, boy, Marion Watkins with impunity throws down Bryson Walker, and it's second down and 11.
Yeah, we went from Longview Game Day to Sling TV that time. Well, no, John fooled us again. He used his timeout.
Forget what I said.
Yeah.
Never mind. They decide they are going to try it again. So on the loss of a yard, second down and 11's coming up, and the Lobos will burn their second time out of the half.
Yeah, let's go back and talk about this. As you say, why do you do this? You're up 35-0. Well, you do it because you want to prepare for next week. It's almost like a preseason football game in the NFL. You do the things situationally you're going to do during the season. The second season starts next week. You want to do things like you're going to come playoff time. You want to do it right.
Right. That's right. So we'll get this one more time out. Of course, we want to remind you, coming up at the half, we again have the Lobo band getting ready to take the field, so we're going to allow them the halftime to perform and entertain you. We're going to go grab a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
we're going to come back for the second half.
West Mesquite has their band and drill team here as well, so it's going to be a full halftime performance, and we want you to hang around and enjoy that.
All right, so second down and 10's coming up. Wranglers have all of their timeouts left, I believe. I actually have 2 of them left. They've called one earlier. Dale back to pass, going to throw this one backward. That's McCoy again making the catch. Avoids one defender, a second defender running laterally, and finally is dropped for a loss back at the 23-yard line. And
John will use his last time out.
Yeah, and that's Jordan Wright who makes the tackle for the Lobos back to the 23-yard line. So we'll burn the third and final timeout with 1:38 left to play in the half.
Frank's over here telling me if I was really lucky at halftime, I'd get a Juicy's hamburger.
Oh.
I love Juicy's. They got the beans and all there. I love going to Juicy's.
Okay.
He's bragging to me because he knows that where we live, we don't
You're
have
not going
a
to get one of those.
We
No.
don't get to enjoy Juicy's.
No. He's kind of mocking
These
us is
folks
what's happening.
down here in Longview. If I lived here, that'd probably be a once-a-week date.
Really?
Yeah. You and I got to have a Juicy's burger a couple summers ago with Coach King.
We did.
Got to visit with him where he is the king of Juicy's. We thought we were with a movie star that day. Everybody that walked in wanted to talk to Coach King.
And didn't we pay for his lunch too? He is kind of a movie star if that happened.
Yes.
He doesn't buy. If you're John King, do you walk
don't
around
buy
Longview?
lunch.
No,
you don't
no,
buy a hamburger
no,
in this town.
no.
There's plenty of people. We met a guy coming in today who drives in from Denton to run the clock.
Yes.
Guy who was had a dental practice here for 40 years, and he's such a supporter. And he said, I'm a supporter of John King. And he said it with real conviction. And the folks here in Longview have adopted this man, and he just made this his home.
All right, 3rd down and 12. McCoy's going to empty out the backfield with Dale now. Quick little drop, in trouble, grabbed in, goes down, and let's see, is that going to be Jordan Wright who's going to get credit for that sack? And it will bring up 4th down.
You expect the Wranglers will let the clock run off the better part of 40 seconds before they punt. It'll be interesting to see if they send Willie back out to, he's going back out. So I'm not going to tell the Wrangler coaches how to do their business, but I might kick away from number 6. I might find out if there's a teammate over there that can catch a punt or whatever, but I might not kick it to number 6.
Might not or will not?
I'm not telling somebody how to do the job.
All right, here's the punt. Oh, that one almost got blocked. It's going to come down to Willie, 49, right on the 50-yard line. Let's see if he's going the same way he scored. 40, 35, 30, 25, 20 makes a cut and down to the 15-yard line. With 36 seconds on the clock, the Lobos have 15 yards to navigate and a 35-0 lead.
But you're a professional, and if that's what you want to do, you go right ahead, because I don't want to tell you how to do your job.
What you're saying is you do you.
You do you.
Yeah.
And I mentioned a while ago on the punt return, I know it sounds crazy when you've got a 1,000-yard rusher, when you've got one of the top receivers in the entire country, but that guy there may be your most exciting football player. 35
yards on the punt return. 1st down at the 15-yard line. 36 seconds left to play in a 35-0 Longview half. And probably a lot of guys that you're seeing on the field right now you won't see when we come back for the second half.
You got number 8 out there by himself. There's no safety help.
Hale's split wide. Fake the handoff to Tatum. Pass toward the goal line. That's Hale, goes down to his knees. Touchdown catch, 41-0. That took all of one play.
Just saying, he's out there by himself with no safety help. Really, he could have come across either way, and unfortunately one of the Wranglers is down, and we'll take a timeout for him. But it was a out pattern. He pushed the DB in, then went to the pylon. The ball was waiting on him, a little bit underthrown, but Jalen Hale went down, got the ball from Jordan Allen.
See, you're going to argue it's underthrown. I'm going to argue that throw was aimed at the pylon and that Hale was just coming back to it. I think when Jordan let go of that thing, it was, I'm throwing at the pylon. I think Hale will be there. That's my spot. And I know you're saying maybe underthrown, but it looked like on the release, Hale hadn't even broken out of his break yet when that ball was in the spot when Hale dove for it.
You know what it looks like in the box score?
Touchdown.
That's
right.
It doesn't matter how it was supposed to be. It was perfect in print.
How about Hale now with the second catch? That's 31 yards. He's still 27 away from setting the all-time yardage receiving total, but the Lobos add another score, and with 29 seconds to play, it's 42-0. We'll take a break. We're coming back on Game Day.
And now at Orr, we want to buy your used vehicle and we'll give you guaranteed top dollar for yours. And if you prefer to trade, even better, with massive savings on every new vehicle at Orr Cadillac GMC in Longview.
House party? We got you covered. Office meeting? Come on, treat them right. Game day? You know we're here for it. Get your taco, nacho, or fajita bar today. Only at Juicy's Taco.
On the field, the kick for your Lobos.
Well, that was a very short drive. One play, 15 yards, and we're going to get a new kicker. And we're going to get a new kicker for the first time this season at the varsity level, and that young man is, well, hang on now, because I had him, and now I lost him. That's Alexandre Mitchell is who's kicking for the Lobos here with the big lead. They bring in the sophomore kicker.
And we got a little scrum down there about the 20. So
yeah, ball's going to be Wrangler ball as Mitchell gets his name in the book. And it'll be, Wrangler ball on the 20-yard line with 25 seconds left to play in the half.
The interesting stat for me, Frank was asking, are they in the positive yet yardage-wise? You'll have some stats here after a while, but you've got 42 points. I don't know, 150 yards total offense? That's going to be the interesting stat. How did you get the 42 points off such a limited amount of total yards?
Lobos have 180 yards of offense.
In 42 points.
In 42 points. The total is 30 yards for the Wranglers. And on first down, how about to the ground? Durden for a couple, and this should be the last play of the half.
Yeah, how about to the locker room?
So 42 zip.
Look at this. West Mesquite's trying to get a playoff.
I can't believe it. Well, they're going to try
one
more.
More football.
Let's do some more. Handoff again. How about right up the middle again, and tripped as he's coming through the line is Bryce Walker, and that will end the first half. Well, the first quarter was a lot of Elijah Johnson with 3 touchdowns. The second quarter, a lot of Willie Nelson with a couple of long punt returns, including a 92-yarder for a score. All Lobos, all over the Wranglers. 42-0 is the mark at halftime. The bands are getting ready to come out. We'll join you here and again in about 25 minutes and get you ready for half number 2. Enjoy the halftime show. 42-0 Longview. Chuck, Zach, Tony Kirk here on Longview Game Day.
Passing the competition by leaps and bounds. The team of world-class specialists at Christus Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute are experts in caring for bones, joints, and muscles. In addition to treatment, they also provide special programs designed to keep you in optimal shape and improve athletic performance. So whether you're a student athlete or a weekend warrior, they'll keep you at the top of your game. Christus Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, taking orthopedic care a step further.
Good evening, Lobo Nation. Tonight, we will honor our 2022 Wall of Honor inductees. To thank those who have served in the U.S. Armed Forces, Longview ISD established the Wall of Honor in 2015. The 3 honorees that we will celebrate tonight have served this country bravely and honorably, and we are honored to call them Lobos. Thank you to our inductees and all our servicemen and women in our stands tonight. Anthony Hobson Sr. Anthony Hobson Sr. graduated from Longview High School in 1988. He served over 32 years in the United States Navy and completed 3 deployment tours of duty. During his career, LCDR Hobson earned 20 medals and service awards. Among these are the Afghanistan Campaign Medal, Global War on Terrorism, Expeditionary Medal, Humanitarian Service Medal, Joint Meritorious Unit Award, Military Outstanding Volunteer Service Medal, 4 Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medals, Sea Service Deployment Ribbon, Overseas Service Medal, NATO Medal, Good Conduct Medal, 2 National Defense Service Medals, Naval Reserve Meritorious Service Medals, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Armed Forces Reserve Medal, and the Navy Pistol and Rifle Expert Ribbon. Sergeant, First Class Jennifer B. Jackson. A 1981 graduate of Longview High School, Sergeant First Class Jennifer B. Jackson served 22 years as a petroleum supply specialist in the United States Army. She saw action in 2 major conflicts, serving in Operation Desert Storm, Desert Shield during the Gulf War from August of 1990 to March of 1991. Then defending her country in the Iraq War from January of 2005 to February of 2006. During her military career, Sergeant Jackson received 35 service medals and commendations. Her awards include the Joint Service Commendation Medal, 3 Meritorious Service Medals, 4 Army Commendation Medals, 4 Army Achievement Medals, Joint Meritorious Unit Award, Meritorious Unit Commendation, 7 Army Good Conduct Medals, National Defense, Southwest Asia Service Medal with Bronze Service Star, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Korean Defense Service Medal, Iraq Campaign Medal with Campaign Star, 3 Non-Commissioned Officer Professional Development Ribbons, Army Service Ribbon, 4 Overseas Service Ribbons, Kuwait Liberation Medal for service in Saudi Arabia, and the Kuwait Liberation Medal for service in Kuwait. Proving that the spirit of service never retires, Sergeant Major was recognized for an act of heroism in 2018 when she encountered a motor vehicle accident near Airline Road in Loop 281 here in Longview. She stopped to rent a rig and bravely pulled a disoriented woman from her smoking vehicle, then assisted another person who was involved in the accident by helping him contact his family to inform them of the accident and assure them of his safety. She remained on the scene and coordinated with emergency medical services personnel to ensure all parties receive proper treatment for their injuries. Sergeant Jackson is the Army Junior Reserve Officer Training Course, JROTC instructor at Longview High School. JROTC is designed to teach high school students the value of citizenship, leadership development, community awareness, individual responsibility, and a sense of accomplishment while instilling self-esteem, teamwork, and discipline. Chief Warrant Officer 4, Timothy M. Anderson. Chief Warrant Officer Timothy M. Anderson is a 1989 graduate of Longview High School who served 23 years as a chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear defense officer in the United States Marine Corps. During his career, Chief Warrant Officer Anderson served 4 tours of duty in 2 major conflicts. He completed 1 campaign as part of Operation Enduring Freedom and deployed 3 times during Operation Iraqi Freedom. Along the way, he earned numerous personal, unit, and service awards, including the Defense Meritorious Service Medal, Meritorious Service Medal, 4 Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medals with Combat Distinguishing Device, Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal, Combat Action Ribbon, 3 Joint Meritorious Unit Awards, 4 Navy Unit Commendations, Air Force Meritorious Unit Award, 3 Meritorious Unit Commendations, 3 Marine Corps Good Conduct Medals, 2 National Defense Service Medals, Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal, 3 Iraq Campaign Medal, Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Humanitarian Service Medal, and 7 Sea Service Deployment Ribbons. For acts of heroism in the line of duty, Chief Warrant Officer Anderson received the Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medal with Combat Distinguishing Device. And at number 39V, number 39, while serving with Joint Special Operations Task Force North, Mosul, Iraq. Ladies and gentlemen, we take great pride in recognizing all of these United States veterans.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For your halftime entertainment, West Mesquite High School proudly presents the 2022-2023 Larriettes. The Lariat officers are Junior Lieutenant Victoria Lozada, Senior Lieutenant Luzbel Pineda, First Lieutenant Samantha Solis, and the Captain Jocelyn Quinones. JV Instructor is Yolanda Anders. The social officers are Jacqueline Ferrer, Anna Soto, Vice President Caitlin McDonald, and President Iris Ortega. This week's Spirit Girl of the Week is Nadia Cantu, and your Lariat of the Week is Jacqueline Ferrer and Caitlin McDonald. Tonight, the Lariats would like to entertain you with their palm routine to Land of a Thousand Dances, accompanied by the Burnt Orange Band and choreographed by the Lariat officers. The Lariats are under the direction of Shelby Cromings. The teacher and staff members of the week are Mr. Burks, Mr. Ward, and the West Mesquite band directors, Mrs. Borders, Miss Brown, Mr. Gibson, and Mr. Dudley. The Lariat managers are Leslie Solis and Belinda Ramirez. Let's hear it one more time for your West Mesquite High School Lariats. And now, taking the field for your halftime enjoyment, the West Mesquite High School Burnt Orange Band. Their show is entitled Once in a Blue Moon and features Talking to the Moon by Bruno Mars, Moon by Kanye West, Fly Me to the Moon by Frank Sinatra, and Blue Lake Overture by John Barnes Chance. The Burnt Orange Band recently received all superior ratings at UIL and 8 at the Area C marching competition. The Burnt Orange Band is under the field direction of drum majors Angelica Escobedo, Darius Gardner, and Lucas Ranfranz. Soloists are Lucas Ranfranz, Kelvin Reyes, Journey Folks, and Maya Starks. Color Guard member of the week is Kimberly Garcia. This evening, the Burnt Orange Band would like to thank our parents for all their hard work and support this season. burnt orange band is under the direction of Jennifer Borders, Lacey Brown, Michael Gibson, Dan Dudley, Darshan Javeri, and color guard instructor is Chris Gomez.
To the field for 58 years, the 2022-2023 LHSUS. Officers this year are left to right, Junior Lieutenant Ava Wilcox, Senior Lieutenant Hallie Mae Moore, Senior Lieutenant Hannah McCory, Junior Lieutenant Emily Terrell, and center, your captain, Senior Haley Pittman. The U.S. will now entertain you with their string of jazz routine 2, I Want You Back. Duet of the week is Junior Zoe Gideon. Spirit Guard of the week is Junior Jenny Hutton. Teacher of the week is Miss Tierney Bell. The duet is under the direction of Mrs. Debbie Downey and assisted by Mrs. Meg Lawrence. 2022 Longview High School Majorettes will perform a dance twirl routine to Feel This Moment. under the full direction of Commissioners Ashley Rivera and Caitlin Pregame, the Longview Independent School District proudly presents the award-winning Longview High School LOBO Band. This is the Big Green Marching Machine. All right, Lobo fans, get on your feet as the big green marching machine marches the Rockin' Hell on the field. Students and directors, our parents, community members, LIAG for continued support this season. We would also like to thank our sponsors for this year: ABC Auto Parts, Eastman Credit Union, Easy to Haul Moss, JL Enterprise Precision Machinery, Jodak Office Outfitters, O'Reilly Family McDonald's Restaurants, Peter Chevrolet, Good Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, and 5 Sloan Firm and Missouri and Pembroke LLP. Thank you for your kind attention to tonight's performance, and go Lobos!
I want to take this time to recognize the class of 2007. 2007, if you're here, stand up. It is your 15-year reunion.
Well, there you go. A large halftime performance. We had both bands. We had some honoring of folks before they got started, so it's been a long 28 minutes, according to the official UIL timekeeper for halftimes.
Well, I thought it was wise to start the clock a little late and let everybody have a full senior evening of festivities at halftime.
You bet. Here's what we've got for the first half. Lobos up 42-0. 13 carries, 142 yards on the ground, 38 yards through the air. It's barely 180 yards of offense, but when you have short fields of, well, let's see, 15 yards, 46 yards, 38 yards, 46 yards, 35 yards. You don't have to travel far to get scores. Add a punt return in there for 92 yards. It was all Lobos. On the other side for the Wranglers, they had 3 first down. Lobos, by the way, had 10. Minus 17 yards rushing, 51 yards passing. That's 34 yards of offense in the first half. They were 1 of 9 on third downs. Lobos 3 of 3 on third down attempts.
Looks like Washington will go back for the kickoff. We'll see. Typically, in these type games, John King has brought his offense out for one series. We'll see if that's the case here in Week 10.
Yep. We're going to get our first kickoff of the Wranglers tonight. Their kicker, let's see what we've got here. Number 80 is Nestor Leon. He is going to be teeing the ball off. And
teeing it off?
Well, we're going to do something. Kicking it off. We've got a couple of Lobos back around the 10-yard line. They are not anticipating him kicking over their heads. And kind of a straight-on style that hooked all the way out of bounds at the 40-yard line. So they're going to get 5 yards added on top of that.
Yeah, it's almost as if they were a little bit going for an onside kick there. It was such a short pooch variety kick that time. It's almost as if they were trying to get one of their outside guys down there with an opportunity to field that while it was still in there. Looks like Allen is talking to Coach King. He'll return onto the field, and we'll try to see if it's the full. Yeah, Taylor Tatum's out there.
Yep, so the full offensive unit is out there to start this second half.
A lot of talk at halftime. Will Jalen Hale get a chance to break the record tonight? Folks up in the press box at halftime were wondering. This would probably be the drive, so don't be surprised if number 8 gets some looks here early.
He's got 2 catches for 31 yards. First down, they'll fake the ball to Tatum. And here's a pass toward Hale, caught at the 40-yard line. He's going to go out of bounds at around the 35.
Yeah, they're going to bring it all the way back to 38. He stepped out there.
All right, so we'll add on, what, about 17 yards. So he's getting close.
Play action pass that time. Froze the DB just for enough to get Allen a wide open passing lane.
So first down, 38-yard line of West Mesquite. How about another one to Hale? He'll go for 5 to the 33-yard line.
This is about what we expected. We figured they would get in there, and now they must think that's enough because they've replaced the entire offense.
All of them come out. Second unit comes in. Let me do a quick cipher in here. I've got Hale 4 for 53. Now, I had him needing 58 to get to the mark. So I got him 5 yards shy. I'm not official, so he may already have it. First down handoff. There's Kelvin Washington, and Washington will fight with a defender to get to maybe the 31-yard line. It's going to bring up third down and 3.
Well, one would suspect that they had done the math at halftime, knew exactly what they needed, came out, ran 2 plays designed to get Jalen Hale a all-time record here at Longview.
Lancaster 14.
We're getting some scores coming this way. Lancaster with a lead over Lufkin. It sounded like 14-13.
A little closer than one would expect. I don't know if that's still early in that ball game.
Well, you figure probably halftime. All right, third down and about 3. Andrew Tutt at quarterback. He'll hand off right up the middle, and Washington's going to be short at the 30-yard line. Actually, that's not Washington. That is Steverson, Brandavian Steverson, in there on the carry for about a yard, so it's fourth down and 2.
No reason not to go for it from this part of the field.
Lobos up 42-0 early third quarter. They scored on every possession in the first half.
I'll get you some names of some of these other guys that are in here as hopefully they keep the drive alive.
Ethan Harrison split out wide left. Freddie Hawkins in the slot. Hand off to Steverson. He's got a first down and more across the 25 and down to the 22-yard line. Gain of 8 on 4th and 2.
Some names here. Looks like 52. Fernando Longoria's in there right now. 40 Soto just came onto the field.
Jose Soto will be the fullback in this.
Hawkins is out there right now. Some of these guys get some playing time regularly. Some, this is their moment.
First down, 10, 22-yard line. To the ground we will stay. Handoff Steverson again as he plows for 9 to the 13-yard line. I tell you what, stayed on his feet and kept going. I don't know if they're going to give him all that forward progress. Actually, it's Soto on the carry, not Steverson. So they'll stop him at the 13 for a gain of 9.
Arion Harper's in there, number 75, 67. Blair Williams out there right now. Like I said, we're trying to get some names to you. The second unit that's come onto the field. It was a complete change, 11 for 11.
I would anticipate you're going to have all kinds of time in this half to identify all of them. I think they're out there for the duration now.
I think we're going to get a bunch of folks in tonight.
Second down and a yard. Back to the ground, back to Washington, slips a tackler, and he's going to go all the way to the end zone from 13 yards away, and it's 48-0. Kelvin Washington with the touchdown.
That's what you want to see the rest of this half. You keep it simple, let your offensive line do the work, and play as many people as possible.
8:25 to play in the third. For Kelvin Washington, his 7th touchdown of the season comes from 13 yards away. A quick little drive. 7 plays, 55 yards. Kick on the way is good for Michael Fields. 2 minutes and 52 seconds possession for the Lobos as they take a 49-0 lead. We'll take a break here on Longview Game Day.
At Godarzi and Young, we take things more seriously.
Every case that's handled at our office is handled by a team. That work and dedication has caused our office to recover more record verdicts and settlements than any other law firm in Northeast Texas.
It is our obligation to make sure our client has the financial backings and the manpower to be successful.
We are exactly who we say we are. We're trial lawyers who've gotten results year in, year out.
Welcome back. That was as we said, a drive of 7 plays, 55 yards. Lobos now on the ground have pounded out 175 yards. They've thrown for 60. There's Dre Mitchell out to kick off again. We saw him a little bit at the end of the first half. And we got most of the second unit in there on kick coverage as well as his kick. Hooks all the way into the end zone. Big leg for the sophomore. It'll come out to the 25-yard line.
Makes you feel good if you're a Lobo fan to know that you got one down on the farm with that strong a leg. We didn't mention it during the extra point. With Tutt playing quarterback, they brought Ethan Harrison, the junior receiver, in to hold for Fields, who was still out there kicking the extra point that time.
All right, time for wholesale defensive changes as well. We've still got Pulte out there. I see him, who played a lot in the first half. Also still out there, Jordan Wright, number 65. Zarius Shepard is also on the field in number 55. They added some guys to the roster, so we'll see if we can't pick them up as well. LaQuavian Jackson's the 4th of the defensive linemen. Thomas Roell's in the secondary, along with Liddell Kenny. And let me pick up some more as we get to a break here in just a second. It is first down, Craig Dale with the ball, 25-yard line. He's been the quarterback the whole way, and on first down, he's going to pump and then throw. Pass completed in the backfield. It'll be a gain of about 2, maybe 3 yards on the completion. And it looks like that's Irami Pryor, sophomore receiver out there.
They're coming into the game right now. Number 5, you got a 5 on your roster? I don't have one on mine.
For Longview?
Yeah.
That is Javon Towns, who's a sophomore defensive back.
Some of these kids, no JV game probably this week since moved this to Thursday, so we may have some JV kids out there getting their work tonight.
So gain of 3, second down and 7. Long time trying to get plays in. If you're the coach of West Mesquite, you're trying to win a quarter. Can I get a quarter? Right now, you need some positive thing. Can we get a score? Pass to Kason McCoy. McCoy is going to be stopped well shy of even the line of scrimmage. He's grabbed and thrown to the ground. That's Javion Robertson on the tackle.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's important. West Mesquite wants to score points. They realize they're playing a quasi-backup JV unit out here right now, but they had no success in the first half. They certainly don't want to end the season being shut out. As tough a district as it's been for them going winless in district, they certainly don't want to be shut out their last game of the year.
DeAndre Drish is playing on the far side cornerback. Jemias Morrow is one of the linebackers. I think we've just about picked up everybody. We'll work on him here after the dead ball. McCoy, the man in motion. Third down and 7. Lobos up 49-0. Toss out to the backfield. That is Walker, who's upended. That's Drish coming up to close in a hurry for a loss of 2. It'll be 4th down and 9.
Well played that time by the corner. Good design. They got the back out of the backfield. They got him in space like they wanted. And the young corner came up and made the play. Now, you got a different 38 than I do. That's Drish.
DeAndre Drish.
DeAndre Drish, yeah.
All right, with the punt coming, it looks like
Curry will be back.
Yeah, J.K. Curry is going to be the punt returner now. We've seen for the duration of the game, Kanan Durden is the punter. He did not have a great first half. He started off with a low snap that ended up with a 19-yard punt. Then he had a 21-yard punt. Lobos coming after him, and they got him. He gets it away, and it rolls its way across the 50-yard line. But they were coming in a hurry, and he's lucky to have gotten that out of there at all. It'll roll dead across the 45 to about the 42-yard line. Probably his best punt of the night, and it was just trying to save your life with that kick.
Well, it was his best punt of the night because there was no number 6 back there to bring it back the other way. Big man Poche kind of walking off slowly there. Hope he's all right.
He's the one that had. First of all, let's do this. Kanan Durden's a big guy.
Yeah, he's not a little fella.
No, their collision was legit.
Yeah, that's 2 big men running into each other while one of them's trying to kick a football.
So the Lobos will have first down at the 42-yard line. 49-0 the score. 5:48 left to play in the third. Andrew Tutt at quarterback, and we're going to get his first pass of the game. This one is caught. It is Freddie Hawkins with the catch. He's got a first down and across the 45 to the 43-yard line of the Wranglers.
Yeah, that's the kind of pass you expect with your backup quarterback in there. Give him a little something to get some confidence.
Hawkins picking up the Lobo first down.
One of those little behind the line where a little bit of a screen style pass there. So he completed it. They get the first down, and now you probably go back to handing the ball off.
Take a 14-yard gain and make it first down.
Tutt just hasn't taken a lot of snaps this year, and when he has, it's mostly been handing the ball off.
Although they've got him back in the shotgun again, he will hand the ball off up the middle and just shy of the 40-yard line. Big collision as Darian Steverson picks up 2 on the play, and it brings up 2nd down and 8.
Andrew Tutt's listed at 5'10", 185, junior quarterback. Also the holder on kicking duty, and he's the deep snapper on the punt team. So Tutt gets on the field a lot. He just doesn't take a lot of snaps at the quarterback position, except in circumstances like this, which is basically mop-up time.
Steverson out, Kelvin Washington back in. Boosie in the backfield on 2nd down and 8. Tight formation for the Lobos. They'll hand it off. Looking for some space, instead going wide. Washington 35. Switch that ball into the sideline arm as he fights off Galloway and gets the first down at the 27-yard line.
Well, you described tight formation, no fullback, a couple of H-back style tight ends there. And defense was lined tight. Washington realizes that. He bounces it out and gets a major gain.
14 yards on the pickup for Washington. First down at the 27-yard line. It's a pretty good night when Taylor Tatum only needs 4 carries, 34 yards, and the Lobos roll anyway. Hand off to Washington. He's hitting the backfield and is spun forward for about a yard. 2nd down and 9.
Washington, we talked about earlier in the broadcast that Taylor Tatum took a night off. Washington got the bulk of the carries that night. Had a good night when he was the feature back.
Coming up on 3:30 left to play here in the third quarter.
Steverson shares times with Washington in the backup row. Little bigger back comes onto the field.
Lobos got 21 in the first quarter and 21 in the second quarter. And they've got 1 on the board here in the third quarter. And they're threatening again with 3:15 left to play in the quarter. 2nd down and 8, 25-yard line. Harrison split out far right. Handoff Steverson up the middle. Well, he just runs hard and low, gets it out to the 20 for a gain of 5.
Steverson's one of those kids. He's a senior. I promise you, there's some high schools in this area he could be the starting feature back for. Comes out here, gives the team depth, and you describe every time we've seen he and Washington on the field in rows like this, they are very physical, hard-running backs.
And I think the point here is the guys in front of them eat up a lot of carries in the first half of games. These guys get their chance in the second half. This is their game.
Yes.
Second half of games belong to Washington and Soto and Steverson and Lee. And here's Washington with a handoff. And, Steverson with the handoff, and he's across the 15 and has another first down.
He's a good-sized kid. And like I say, I promise you, there are surrounding communities would love to have that 5'7", 190 pounds running the ball for them on a regular basis. But he comes in here, gives you that added depth, plays hard every time he's on the field. And you're right, he gets carries, he and Washington both, because there's been a lot of ball games at second half they've handled the load.
And it's deceptive to hear 5'7".
Yeah.
He looks like he's 6 foot 210. He really does.
Yeah, he's a big-looking kid. But now Tut's in there right now, and he's standing by Tut. And as we mentioned earlier, Tut's only 5'10".
Yeah, handoff again. Steverson again. We got a flag. This is coming back.
Yeah,
he got all the way to the end zone, but it's going to come back. We got a hole that looks like middle of the line. That's in the neighborhood where Caleb Reinhart was the offensive lineman. I don't know if he's going to get the flag or not, but he was the closest culprit to where the flag landed. Oh, let me take it back. You don't see that one very often.
Not much defensive holding. Must have grabbed a lead blocker or something, but yeah, that's an unusual call to say the least.
So touchdown for Steverson from 12 yards away. There's not very many times you will see a defensive lineman get called for holding on a run play like that, but they got Victor Chapman, the junior.
Yeah, that's why the Whitehat's getting an earful over there. He said, "Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's 55-0, and you're going to call defensive holding on a running play?"
And the answer would be yes.
You're correct, sir. And the Whitehat's going to tell that umpire, don't ever call that again.
That's right. What were you thinking?
Yeah.
Do you see what the score is? Kick on the way by Fields. That is up and good. 56-0. 1:37 left to play in the third quarter. We'll take a timeout here on Game Day.
Over the last 10 years, our office has achieved many record verdicts and settlements. Our commitment has always been to outwork and outfight any opponent we have in whatever courtroom we find ourselves in.
At Godarzi & Young, we have settlements and verdicts that are unmatched. Whether you come face to face with the corporation or the insurance company, they know that if they don't justly compensate our clients, they're going to have to face the Godarzi & Young trial team in the courtroom.
Printing your photos just got easier. Just pick your size, color, and favorite photo, and we'll do the rest. Because your unforgettable moments are meant to be framed.
.137 left to play in the third quarter. Lobos crank out a 7-play, 58-yard drive. That's their longest of the evening so far, and they have yet to have to punt the football. 56-0. We've still got a quarter and another minute and a half left to play in this thing.
Alexander and Mitchell to kick.
Mitchell getting ready to kick off. He put the last one in the end zone. They're going to say to him, let's try it again, and why not? He parks that one 3 yards deep, and they'll come out to the 25 one more time.
Tell you what, that's impressive for the sophomore. I'm assuming he was the JV kicker this year, and in this little audition he's getting tonight, he's looking awful good. I don't know if you guys could hear the limbo lobo on the scoreboard there, trying to get the crowd fired up here. When you're up 56-0, minute 37 left in the third quarter, you play the limbo lobo.
Well, and a lot of folks on Thursday night are getting up for work tomorrow. They've pretty much decided this one's in the books, and the Mesquite fans who drove a long way, some of them have started to leave, and I think some Lobo fans have figured out as well, we're going to save our enthusiasm for next week when Crosby comes in here. We expect it to be Crosby. All right, first down, a little fake that time from Craig Dale, the quarterback, as he decides to go quarterback keeper right up the middle. For 8 yards, it'll be 2nd down and 2.
Yeah, that's that play that typically Tadarian Boone plays spy on that. Boone has taken a spot on the sideline with the rest of the defensive starters and was not out there to make that read and hang around to catch the quarterback. So that worked a lot better with Tadarian not on the field.
Jaden Howard out there as well, number 43. I think he's the one linebacker we missed in the last rotation for the defense. 2nd down and 3. Man in motion is Kason McCoy. Been a rough day for the Wranglers all around. Little time this time to throw, and that ball's in a tight little window, but caught up at the 43-yard line. Noah Casares with the catch and a 1st down and a gain of 10.
Low pass, but as you described, Casares did a good job going down, getting the football, moving the sticks for the Wranglers. How many 1st downs you say they had in the first half?
3.
3.
For the game, they have 4.
They're moving on up the ladder.
The math is easy on that part. Let's just do that. We're having more trouble figuring out how many yards Jalen Hale has and how many 1st downs the Wranglers have. 1st down, 43-yard line. They'll throw it out to McCoy. He's got a block in the back. No flag came on that one. How in the world? McCoy will pick up about 5, but boy, a pretty obvious block in the back. 15 was the receiver on that side, and he planted a Lobo defender right in front of the official. Got no flag and got no time left in the 3rd quarter. We're out of time for the 3rd. We'll flip sides of the field and come back for the 4th here on Longview Game Day.
Injuries aren't planned, and here at Longview Orthopedic, we're going to work together with patients to try to attain the best outcome possible for them. We have the ability to treat all injuries for all patients and athletes of all ages. One thing I want patients to understand is that, I've been in their situation. I played football at Texas A&M University, played offensive line, I was a guard, and being an athlete, suffering injuries, and having that passion to get back on the field gave me a really good perspective on the other side of the line as a treating physician now here at the Longview Orthopedic Clinic.
Crunch has everything you need to find your mode. Come check out Crunch Fitness with a free guest pass.
In Longview, see your good neighbor State Farm agent Charlene Ingram for your insurance and financial.
All righty, welcome back. 4th quarter starting. How about an interception for the Lobos? We're going to go back the other direction. That interception by number 5 for Longview. That is Javon Towns, a sophomore. He'll return it up to the 37-yard line, and the Lobos grab an interception to open up the 4th quarter.
Dale just locked in on the receiver with his eyes. He appeared to be open. Safety read the ball perfectly and swooped in and just took it away from the receiver. And Tut comes back onto the field with 11:46 here at the beginning of the 4th quarter left. And we expect to see more handoffs and root for that clock to continue running.
Picked that off at the 35-yard line and returns it to the Wrangler 37. Handoff up the middle. There's Jose Soto, who runs so hard. He's going to get to about the 30 for a gain of 7.
Soto, we talked about earlier, Tatum getting a night off during their season. The same night, Johnson had the night off. Soto was the prime fullback that night, and Soto he kind of bounces back and forth between the fullback, H-back position.
2nd down and 3. And this is going to be Mr. Andrew Tutt keeping this, spinning inside the 10 and fighting his way down to the 5, where it'll be 1st down and goal.
Yeah, that may be Tutt's longest play from scrimmage this year, passing or running. But that time he kind of got going. Nobody found him. They bit on the handoff, and little like a zone read, he rolled the back and then pulled it out the last second and took off and got all the way down to the 5-yard line.
1st and goal, Lobos early in the 4th quarter. Andrew Tutt at quarterback. He'll hand off. That's Jonathan Lee that's checking in the game. He's down to just outside the 1-yard line where it'll be 2nd and goal.
Lee, another one of those backs that when he gets on the field just runs hard and tries to impress the coaches each week. And so he's just buried on a very deep depth chart of running backs. But when he's out there, he plays very hard.
Second down and goal. They're going to mark it down at the 2-yard line, so Lee got it up to the 2. Amazing when your rotation is Jonathan Lee is your 4th or 5th second back. And there's Soto with the handoff. He'll dive into the end zone. And the Lobos will pick up one here in the 4th quarter with 9:57 left to play, and we'll make it a 62-0 lead.
I always like it when those fullbacks get a moment. They do so much. They're the lead blockers in the I formation. We've talked about Soto plays some H-back, which in this offense is typically just a blocking position. When those guys get a little bit of glory, you're always happy with them.
First touchdown of the year for Jose Soto. Point after try coming. Ethan Hawkins, the holder. Kick is on the way. It is up and good. That's Mitchell with the point after. Let's make it an even 63. I guess that's an odd 63. We'll make it 63-0 with 9:57 left to play. Well, there's not much else to say. If you're a Lobo fan, you just take all this in and go, you know what, this is pretty special.
We talked about at the start of the broadcast tonight what a 10-0 regular season means. You said there have been 5 of them here in the 2 decades that John King's been roaming the sidelines here in Longview. You don't take them for granted. You appreciate them. Obviously, the second season starts a week from tomorrow night probably, and that's a big deal. Playoffs start. That's the expectations now in Longview, playoffs every year and all, but there's been some years you don't get these perfect 10-0 regular seasons, and this one, not the best district Longview's ever played in, but they played some pretty good non-district ball games, and here they find themselves 10-0 at the end of the regular season.
Well, and one of those teams that we really looked at and said this was the most challenging team this year was Lancaster.
Sure.
They came in here, 21-13 ball game. Lancaster having nothing to play for tonight as well. They've already locked up the number 2 spot. They still lead Lufkin, but it's only 21-13 in that game as they're coming up in about the same amount of time we've got left. Actually, let's change that. Just got an updated score, 21-20 with a minute and a half left to play in that one.
Would not have guessed Lufkin would play them that close tonight, but don't know who all the Lancaster coaches set tonight. Don't know if he's played his starters. As you said, not a very meaningful ball game.
No, meant nothing to them. Kick is going to be short and out of bounds as Mitchell kicks that one.
Well, that's the one he didn't get a hold of tonight.
No,
he's really, and he's got one of those natural hooks that he gets his distance from that. You saw it on the extra point. We've seen it on the previous couple of kickoffs. He's got a hook that adds length to his kickoff, and really it's a weapon, but that time he got too much of a hook.
McKinney North leading North Mesquite 21-3. Looks like we're going to get McKinney North as the 4th team in the playoffs from 7-5A.
Once again, a lot of clean uniforms out there as the second team mixed with a little JV tonight has gotten the bulk of the play here in the second half.
As the ball comes out to the 30-yard line on the kick out of bounds shy of the 25. And that's where we get a new possession for the West Mesquite Wranglers. They have been on the short end of a long night tonight. First down at the 30-yard line. And Greg Dale, let's see, we got a flag behind us at the 30-yard line. Dale got out across the 40 to about the 42, but this one, you know, we speculated earlier on a hold on the offense. I'm going to wait. They got me a little gun shy right now.
Yeah, the White Hat picks it up, and looks like they're walking them back, so that's probably going to be an offensive hold, and indeed it is. If you're wondering, if you're watching, why is their starting quarterback still out there? Craig Dale's a senior. This is the end of his football career. And so if you're the West Mesquite coaching staff, you've got a quarterback who it's his senior year. He's gone winless in district. You're going to let him finish it out to the last snap.
One of the very few penalties in this game. It has been a pretty clean game tonight. First down and 20. Dale back to pass, a little hesitation, middle of the field, intercepted again. Picked off again. DeAndre Drish gets it this time. He's going to be inside the 15 to about the 12-yard line. 1st and 10 Lobos there on the tip drill interception.
Yeah, I'm not so sure a Lobo didn't touch it first. Then the receiver for the Wranglers had a chance, and I think actually Dish was the 3rd person to catch or touch the ball as he was able to bring it in.
Maybe 43 Howard got a finger on it. It went through the hands of their receiver prior, and then Drish gets the football.
If we get Tut back in, and indeed it is. We've had a conversation with Coach King, and looks like we've got a timeout on the field right now. You've got trainers out there passing out water, and no, it's not a timeout, but the umpire is going to allow them to get back out there.
So 2nd interception in this quarter for the Lobo defense. They actually had one earlier that we intercepted and fumbled it back. And a couple of yards inside the 10. And it'll be a gain of maybe 3 by Washington, 2nd down and 7.
Well, the Wranglers is down. We may have to have a pause in the action here. Looks like they're going to call a timeout and indeed let the training staff for West Mesquite come onto the field.
Yeah, right in the middle of the defensive line for the Wranglers. I don't know if you get caught up in that pile as the Lobos are trying to run to the right a little bit, and you may get hooked there or just stepped on there. A little bit of a scrum in the middle of that line.
Yeah, he's up, and they're just letting him catch his breath before they help him to the sideline. I think that may be 21 there, Emmanuel Rose.
Well, the Lobo defense has been so impressive all year long. Again, they have given up, the total number of points this year is 77. The offense gave up a touchdown in the 1/4 quarter score. So back that one off the charts and say 70 points basically given up by this defense this year.
Pretty good year. 10 weeks, 70 points. You'll take that. Remind everybody we should be back down here a week from tomorrow night for the first round by-district action in the UIL state playoffs.
We're anticipating Crosby. There's a lot of factors still in play here. Handoff and down to about the 5-yard line.
Is that Hawkins in the backfield?
It was Steverson, I think, but
Steverson,
a little banged up, and he's down now.
Yeah, now we've got another timeout as Steverson's down.
Which you don't want to see.
No, you don't want to lose anybody in Week 10. Fortunately, it looks like the starters have come out unscathed this evening.
And they're coming out to take a look at him. We've got clock stopping now with 8:28 left to play, 63-0. Again, the scenarios for who will we see next week, and I haven't had a chance to do a little scoreboard surfing here, but the scenarios are this. Crosby gets this spot if they win over Baytown Goose Creek Memorial. They need that win, and they need a Barbers Hill win over New Caney Porter. If that happens, we get Crosby. We could get New Caney Porter if they beat Barbers Hill by 3 points or more and then Crosby wins. Or we could get Barbers Hill if they happen to manage to lose by less than 3 points and Crosby wins. So there's some, happenings that are outside of our purview right now to be able to see exactly who we're going to get. And again, I'm not following scores in 8-5A at the moment. We may try to do that before the evening's over, if they're even playing tonight. I didn't see which of those games moved to Thursday. Up here in the corner, they kind of have moved to Thursday. I don't know if they're anticipating rain down in the Houston area or not. We may or may not have Thursday night games going on there.
Well, it may be late Friday night, early Saturday morning before we get it all sorted out. So we would suggest you do a little research on your own, but or just simply check Longview Game Day. Frank Sides will have that information posted as soon as he finds out time and opponent.
All right, from the 5-yard line, Jonathan Lee up the middle for a couple, and very close to a first down. It's going to be 4th down, it looks like, in about a yard.
Frank's already told us the time is scheduled 7 o'clock here at home.
Yes.
When you are the district champion now in Texas in the 5A division, you get to host, which glad to see. It was long overdue, in my opinion. I think as soon as we went to 4 teams in the playoffs, it should have been a district champion gets to host.
And we get that now.
Yeah.
So we're happy about that.
I'm happy about it. Took a little while, but eventually we got it.
All right, 4th down and 1. Inside the 3. Handoff to Lee, breaks a tackle. Well, we got
yeah, I think we had a dead
calling,
ball.
Yeah, folks calling for and a whistle blowing, I think, before we ever got this play off. And a timeout was called on the other side by the folks over at West Mesquite. So we'll take a break as well. There's 7:13 left on the clock. 63-0 Lobos. They'll come back for the 4th down play here on Longview Game Day.
Don't fumble when you're looking for your next trailer. At RJ Trailers, we got the hookup. Cargo mate, Hallmark, text line, Diamond Seed. We've got the inventory selection to get you into the end zone. Snap into savings with R&J Trailers. Don't pass up on the best deals around. R&J Trailers in Longview and online at rnjtrailers.com. We've got the hookup.
In life, some things just go together, like a burger and fries. And home and auto insurance from State Farm. Combine and save.
Talk to State Farm agent Charlene Ingram today.
All right, we welcome you back. 7:13 left to play. We do have a score, and it looks like Crosby, who is playing tonight, has a overwhelming lead over Goose Creek Memorial. The other 2 games involving, or the other game that matters, New Caney Porter and Barbers Hill, they're scheduled to play tomorrow night. So Crosby's getting their win. They've done their part of what they needed to do to get that number 4 spot. So we make it even more possible it's going to be Crosby. Handoff on 4th down. Lee trying to get that 1st down. He's going to be denied. And the ball's going to go over on downs for the first time tonight. The Lobos do not score on a possession. And so they waste the interception. They eat up a couple minutes of clock. And with 7:06 to go, the Wranglers will get the football at about the 5-yard line.
Well, you haven't given us a stat tonight on how many times they punted.
No punts.
It's been that kind of night for the Lobos. Everything's pretty well gone their way.
No punts and no turnovers on downs until that one right there. The Lobos 4 of 6 on 3rd downs, 1 of 2 on 4th downs. But they're going to turn the ball over with 4 minutes left and a long field for the Wranglers.
Well, last 2 times the Wranglers have had the ball, they've managed to throw it to the Lobos. We'll see what happens here. We mentioned this is Dale's last time around as a high school football player.
He hands off. I don't know if the ball came out or not. Sure looked like it did. The way the Lobos were reacting, it was a short gain on the handoff. They acted like there was a ball loose for a second, and I'm not exactly maybe, sure enough. How about that? Fumble by Vincent Hayes, and sure enough, the Lobos do recover it inside the 2-yard line where it'll be 1st down and goal.
Well, I'm not seeing finally their offense is leaving the field. The Lobo offense had already come onto the field, and it was a moment of denial there for the Wranglers. They just couldn't believe that they had so quickly given the ball back.
Well, and watching it on the replay, they didn't have a clean exchange on the handoff. Haynes just never got the football, and the Lobos fall on it at the 2.5-yard line. Well, then there's that.
Yeah.
So if you're Longview, no harm, no foul on the non-converted 4th and 1. You got 4 new downs.
Well, and you're keeping your senior quarterback in, but you're running different backs in there who may not always get many touches, and that time just a bad exchange.
All right, so 1st and goal. Soto and Lee in the backfield behind Andrew Tutt. Go to Soto, right up the middle, big push, flags all over the place.
Well, I don't know if it's a hold or not, but we got a flag, and that's going to come back.
2 flags. One came from the side, one came from the referee, and they're going to go back 10 yards to do it again.
And what has been a very clean game for the Lobos. One of the concerns we've had periodically throughout the year is some before snap penalties, and that has not been the problem tonight. They've played very clean this evening. That's something you're going to want to do for the next month and a half.
So we'll back him off 10 yards, 6:15 left to play in the game, 63-0 Lobos. They're going to run their record to a perfect 10-0. And you've said it a couple times. We'll repeat it as we walk through this last few minutes. Don't take that for granted.
No.
That doesn't happen often. And
Savor it.
Before we get the play clock all the way down to 0, Coach King takes a timeout. And so he'll get that offense over here. They're a little slow getting the play in. So with 5:55 left to play in the game, they'll get 2 timeouts left in their pocket to end this thing. John King's about to get win number 206 in his career, which also is walking in pretty tall cotton.
Well, we've talked about it's 2 decades now down here, and they've been outstanding decades, and it's just really the golden age of Longview football. It ended a couple years ago in getting that very elusive state championship. His son Haynes King was the quarterback of that ball club, and I know that was as special as it could possibly get if you're John King winning state with your son being the quarterback, but he'd love to get another one this season.
I think he'd want to show that ring off to Haynes.
Yeah.
I didn't need you for this one.
Well, I got another one.
Yeah.
And so
it's your turn to get one now.
Yeah. He's Haynes still banged up down there at College Station.
So 1st and goal from the 13.5. Handoff to Lee, and he's stopped in the backfield. We'll have 2nd down and 10.
It's been a night where if you're a Longview fan, it's everything you wanted. The length of the game may be a little more than you would have chosen, but you had a lot of scoring. When you've got 63 points on the board, you're going to have the clock stopped a lot. You had an outstanding extended halftime show. And that's the only thing that's been a downside of this one this evening is the length of the game, but it is a made-to-order victory in a Week 10 versus basically an inferior opponent.
Oh, no question. Lobos have given up less than 20 points in every game. The high water mark was North Mesquite getting 19. Lancaster got 13, Marshall got 11, Boyd got 10, and nobody else cracked double digits. Jonathan Lee with a carry down to the 10-yard line, and we'll make it 3rd down.
Steverson, unfortunately, got a little banged up tonight. He's on crutches going up the track in front of us. You don't ever want to see anybody hurt Week 10. You sure don't want to see a senior. Hopefully that is not going to endanger his ability to participate in the playoffs.
3rd down and goal from the 14 now. As the clock keeps rolling, we're going to come under 4 minutes after they get ready to snap this football. Play clock still got 13 seconds on it. They're in no hurry. They've been basically lined up in the eye, and we're just handing off right up the middle. Lee picking his way down to about the 6-yard line where it becomes 4th down.
Yeah, the coaching staff from Longview's done nothing to rub West Mesquite's nose in this thing. They have just tried to run this clock out. It's been straightforward handoffs here in the second half. I think they've let Tut throw one pass since he's been in. It was a very short pass just to kind of give him an opportunity to throw the football. But
well, and they emptied out the entire starting unit with 3-4 plays into the 3rd quarter.
As soon as they got Jalen Hell his record, we believe they must have felt like they got him the record because, as you said, all 11 starters who played 3 plays here, or is it 2 or 3 plays here in the second half?
A couple of plays, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, so 4th down. We're down to 3 minutes left. 4th and goal from just outside the 7. Handoff. Nope, it's Tut keeping it himself. Option, he'll turn it up the field. How about a touchdown for Andrew Tut?
Tut, who had the big run earlier, gets to put 6 on the board. Just an old-fashioned option. And that is as crazy a play as they've run here. Second unit. They ran an option.
All right, now, this is a thing. We're lining up for the point after try. And Dre Mitchell's about to try to kick this. The Lobos had a 69 earlier this year and missed the point after, or had it blocked, whatever, had a bad snap. They're going to try it here. Point after is on the way. That one's good, and for the first time this year, the Lobos make it to 70 with 2:33 left to play.
A big offensive output. It's still not going to be huge numbers total offense because they've been very efficient with a bunch of short fields tonight. Just haven't had a lot of long drives because they've been presented with short fields most of the evening. That was the case again that time with the fumble, very short field. And so when you look at 70 points, you would expect a lot more total yards.
Well, yeah, you're right, though. You didn't have to go far. 20 first downs. We've got 352 yards of offense, 277 of that on the ground. And there just hasn't been a need to stretch it out. You said early on they're not going to want to show much tonight.
No.
Crosby or whoever it is isn't going to be able to watch this film and pick up a whole heck of a lot.
In fact, if I was whoever they're playing next week, I wouldn't show them this film. I think it would be too scary.
Do you show them last week's film?
I
don't think I'd show them that
I'd
one.
go back and show them Lufkin, Lancaster, or some of those, but
I don't show them Lufkin. That was 56-7.
I would show them that before I show them this.
I think you got to go to Lancaster, or maybe North Mesquite came out and tried to, blitz the Lobos going fast. Other than that, there's not a film you want to show them. Kickoff by Mitchell again. This one is going to come down to about the 12-yard line. Big bounce. McCoy's going to have to pick it up there. And let's see, 25, 24-yard lines where they'll blow them dead. And actually it was the second guy, the return man, number 5, Zacchaeus Castle, who brought that out to about the 24-yard line. It'll be first down there with 2 minutes exactly left in the game.
Yeah, we warn you, there's still 2 more minutes.
What are you trying to say?
It's been a lengthy evening, but you couldn't be more excited for this senior class. They get to finish up undefeated regular season 10-0. A lot of them got on the field tonight. Everybody got out there and got to participate if they were healthy this week. And so you're excited for them, and you're excited for them with the hopes of going into the playoffs. When you've been number 1 all season long, preseason number 1, and did nothing at any point to convince the posters to change that number 1.
All right, first down and 10. Craig Dale back to pass, looking, in some trouble, looking. He's going to roll to his left. Lobo's giving chase. He's going to try to come back to his right. They're still giving chase. They're going to push him back into the end zone where he's going to throw this ball too high for an intended target. There was a receiver there. And so it's going to bring up second down on a lot of running and an incomplete pass.
Yeah, you're right. I thought that was an offensive lineman over there. That was actually a receiver who'd come all the way back because he sent all his receivers downfield to start the play.
And roll the clock and start it up again here on that incomplete. Yeah. The officials must have something to do as well.
Everybody's working tomorrow. Yeah, they all went and lined up back there. The umpire's like, no, that play started up here on the 24.
If I'm West Mesquite, I'm asking, didn't it start up around the 40? Can you mark us up there? Second down and 10. A lot of running for Craig Dale. Back to pass. He's looking middle of the field, ball a little high, and almost getting a beat on it was another Longview defender. Back there was safety number 28, Javion Robertson. On the pass, a little bit too high for the intended target, Dylan Galloway, and now brings up third down.
Yeah. If you're wondering about the official who left earlier, he did not return. This has been a 6-man crew the entire second half. We lost one of the officials in the first half. The head linesman went out. I think he turned an ankle.
Back again, a little bit of pressure coming. He's going to get away from one, but not the last one. They'll drop him for a sack back around the 15-yard line. And we got a handful of Lobos in on that tackle. I'm not even sure who got there first, but there were a handful of them. It doesn't matter. Ball game over. Last play appropriately. The defense with a sack. The shutout intact. The 10-0 record is what they're going to go into the playoffs with, and still the number 1 ranked team in the state of Texas in 5A Division I. And everything you want if you're John King happened, with the exception of seeing Brandarian Stevenson leaving the field injured. Everything else according to plan. A good game, Elijah Johnson. Not many carries, Taylor Tatum. The defense continues to play very well, put a lot of pressure on, and you get to host a home playoff game next Friday night.
Yes, and we've mentioned a couple times it's an entirely second season. Everything you've done at this point is great. It's wonderful. Pat yourself on the back, and then go back and start getting ready for the playoffs.
How about quick stats? Elijah Johnson, 7 first-half carries, 103 yards, had 3 touchdowns. Steverson had 7 for 40. Washington, 5 for 34. Taylor Tatum, just 4 carries, 34 yards. Tutt had 2 for 31 and a touchdown. Soto, 3 for 18 and a touchdown. Steverson had a score. Washington had a score. Jalen Hale had a touchdown run of 4 yards. Jonathan Lee, 6 carries for 12 yards. Passing the football, Jordan Allen tonight, 5 of 9, 60 yards in the score. Tutt 1 for 1 for 15 yards. Hale had 4 catches, 53 is what I have. I thought he needed 58 to start the day to get the record. I'm not 100% sure. Apparently the coaches felt they were, and so we'll assume Jalen Hale has gotten the all-time Lobo receiving record.
We get ready to wrap this thing up. It's time for Lee Greenwood and time for us to hit the road.
All right, 70-0 the final score. Again, Elijah Johnson, big first half, 3 touchdown runs. Willie Nelson, 92-yard punt return as the Lobos hit on all 3 phases tonight. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for us this evening. We thank you so much for tuning in and joining us. You got a week off. We've got a week off. We're back here on Friday night next week, 7 o'clock kickoff. First round of the playoffs, the bi-district round, right here from Lobo Stadium in Longview, Texas. I'm Chuck Zach for Tony Kirk, Frank Sides, and the crew for Longview Game Day. We appreciate you being with us, and we bid you adieu. We'll see you next Friday. You've been watching a presentation of Longview Lobo football on the home of the Lobos,